Good evening, world. As I take a deep breath and welcome to another episode of Bandog Talk with the Dog God. And tonight we have a very, very, very special cook up. Just like every other Thursday night. But, this one right here, you should definitely pay extra attention to tonight because I know a lot of inspiring dog men and women who might want to get into Bandogs, might have ambitions, to actually make money at this. You know what I'm saying? So, with me being the player coach, the dog guys in the field with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you only what I know by experience. I want to give you a real perspective on, doing Bandogs and what you can expect if you're doing it from a business perspective and a hobbyist perspective. You know what I'm saying? So it's good for us to be able to talk about these things before you get involved in them. Excuse me. So, like I always tell y'all, man, get comfortable. The dog god had a long day. Like I do every day, y'all. A long day with dogs. A dog manager. You know what I mean? I'm all of the above when it comes to the dogs, right? I manage their energies, I feed them, I doctor them up, I clean up their piss and shit, I give them yard time. I'm everything to my dog. So, like I say, as I take a deep breath, man, I have to take it, man. And as I take a sip of this, you know how I'm doing it, y'all. Gotta wind down to come, talk to you guys, man. I gotta take the energy down, man. So I can, relax a little bit while I, give you guys this knowledge, man, this in the field knowledge. So, you know how I'm about to do it, man. Take a sip of this cocktail, man. This vodka lemonade. Keep it simple for me. For you guys, if you guys like to roll up that herbal sensation, man, go ahead and roll y'all up something, man. Get comfortable. If you like drink that beer, man, get you a beer, pop it open. Whatever it is, man, that relaxes you guys to be able to have an ear to hear and, pay attention in class, man. Because like I said, I don't have to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to, do this every Thursday where, I'm just giving y'all in the field information. Salute to all my subscribers that are my paid subscribers on my IG. I make sure I give them information because they pay for it, of course. Small donation, but hey, you know what I mean? I feel that it is my duty as a dog man not to hold the information that I know. They say the game is to be sold, not told, and I agree with that. I really do agree with it. So for my paid subscribers, they get a little bit extra. You know what I'm saying? They get consistency when it comes to the information. They get my lab talk with the dog guide series where I break down, everything pertaining to breeding, dog temperament, dog genetics. You know what I mean? Anything in that direction, I break that down for them. And then I also have my talking dog shit series where I just talk everything dogs, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be marketing, whether it be sales, whether it be, the community, whatever. So I make sure that I give a little extra to those who support me in that area. But, this is free for y'all, man. Every Thursday, Bandog Talk. So, like I said, I hope you guys are getting something from it. I'm not here to entertain y'all. I'm not an entertainer, man. I'm just a dog man. And some channels might do what I do, you know what I mean, which is give you the real, you know. Some might give you the drama because drama sells, drama gets views and stuff like that. So I'm not knocking anybody for what they do. I'm never down in another man or woman for how they operate with their program and they channels. But I'm here to give you that in the field play because that's all that's what I'm about. So tonight we got a good one, man. Tonight we got a good one. And like I said, I was just thinking of like what game can I give y'all? Because that's what I want to do on these episodes, and I want you guys to be able to, go back from years, what I mean? It could be, 10 years from now, man. Go back and be like, man, the dog guy been talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Coach been talking about that. You know what I mean? He said that shit 10 years ago, or he said that 5 years ago, 2 years ago. Ain't nothing new under the sun, y'all. Don't get it twisted. Ain't nobody inventing nothing. Everything's been done already. So what I'm saying, I'm sure other dog men have experienced it too. I'm just giving it to you in 2024. What's playing, man? So go ahead and take you a sip, a puff, whatever you got to do. Or if you don't do anything, it's all good, man. Let's get ready to dive into this shortly, man. But like I said, let me go ahead and take me another sip of my vodka lemonade, man, so I can get into the mental mind state to give you all this information. And just know, for those who come doing a live, whether it be 1, 5, 20, 100, 0, I'm going to stay consistent laying these things down for you guys because, you guys always can come back and, listen to it anytime. You know what I'm saying? So, as a dog man, I'm doing my part. And that's really what this is for. You know what I mean? It's for me to do my part as a dog man. Because I get a lot of DMs, and people always ask me questions and stuff like that. So, I try to answer them. Most of the time I'm busy, but I still try to answer the questions. But at least, like I said, on my YouTube channel, on this podcast, man, you can get a lot of those questions answered if you tap back in and, listen to, the previous episodes, man. A lot of information on there. And even though we're talking Bandogs, it's pretty much dogs all the way around. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're dealing with performance dogs. Like you can learn in any breed of dog, you can learn something from this podcast. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and take another sip and then we're gonna get started, man. We're gonna kick this thing off. We ain't gonna waste no time. We ain't waiting for nobody. Everybody knows the time. All right. So tonight, man, let's put this, let's put it on the ticker here. I know somebody might be asking, what we gonna be talking about tonight, Coach? Well, let's go ahead and put it down there. Okay, so tonight we're gonna cook up on this topic here, which is it's an important topic, and for a couple of reasons. But the topic tonight is, should you breed band dogs to make money or as a hobby? Now, a lot of us who are breeders, and I say us because I'm included in that, right? When we decide to become a breeder, okay, there's two reasons. Okay. First main reason is to produce what your vision is in your dog program, right? That's the main reason, should be the main reason. Excuse me. Now, the second reason is to make money because it costs money to take care of these animals. So you want to make money while you're taking care of these dogs and eventually doing your breedings. So those two main points play. Okay, when you decide to get into dogs, right, and actually becoming a breeder. Now, we have to be realistic, okay? You have to be realistic. Now, we are ambitious, which plays, right? That's what motivates you, your ambition. That plays. However, you have to be realistic. And, me and what I show the real, I show the real part of being a dog man. You know, I show the work side of it. And a lot of people who has, aspirations to get into the dogs, they don't really comprehend. They might understand, they don't have comprehension of the work part of it, right? So you say to yourself, okay, there's some people out here and they breed dogs, and you hear about these prices that they get for puppies, and you start doing your mathematics, and you're like, damn, I can make a living off of that. And a small percent do. Small percent, I'm telling you, do. Um, the majority of us, I would say a good 98% of us, right? I got to say us involved, right? Because I'm involved in that 98%. Okay. We're trying to break even. Okay. We're trying to break even when it comes to being dog breeders. Now, when you take it as serious as someone like myself, where your objective is to create the dogs, that initial process is the buying process, the buying of your dogs, buying of your breed stock. You have to have money coming into this first. You have to invest. Now, when it comes to DNA and genetics, if you do your research and you're looking for the best, those people who have what you would consider the best have paid their dues, right? To let you understand that they have the best. That's why you're shopping with them, because you can see, oh wow, they got what I want and they're the best. So they can have a price tag on what they're asking that's, higher than average because they're considered the best. So when you come in, you have to have a certain amount of money to get the best genetics, because most people aren't. If you're at the top of your game, you're not going to sell your genetics for nothing. Doesn't make sense, right? You rather keep them in house than to give them out, because they're the best. So when you come in the game, you got to have enough money to purchase the best genetics for you to build your program on. Okay. Which, if you do this and you have this in mind, right, this process in mind, well, have my money right, purchase the best genetics, you're going to be into your dogs a pretty penny, a high penny, not a little penny, a high penny, because some dogs can cost you anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 a dog, right? If you're buying top tier genetics. Now, if you're coming in on a slow and steady approach and you're just trying to figure yourself out, you can buy any dogs, man. What's up with you, Bandog? Salute, man. Salute, 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 man. We got to cook up PNE XTTF official. What's good with you, family, man? We cooking up tonight, man. I got to break it down for everybody, man. About getting into these dogs, especially band dogs, to make money or as a hobby. So we cooking up tonight, man. Just, have an ear to hear and, pay attention. You know what I mean? You might learn something or two or three. But anyway, so when you get into these dogs, right, you got to buy the top tier, you got to buy the top tier genetics if you're trying to eliminate the trial and error process in building your dog. So that's going to require you to have a certain amount of money to invest in order to eliminate the trial and error phase. Because it's still trial and error, because we plan, we're assisting God with genetics, but you have a better chance of achieving your goal if you buying the best genetics. like, right, the best genetic characteristics. You buying from a person who did the job for you in order for you to succeed in what you're trying to build, right? So then, boom, you off the top at a loss coming in the game because you taking money that you saved up and you're buying top tier dogs, right? So being that we in Bandogs, right? Now, if you start from the F1 phase where you taking a breed and cooking up and making your first mix, you got a long way to go in that process, honestly. You know what I mean? You in the beginning stages of the process. Okay. However, there's still, like I said, if you have a plan, you might have to buy, your Mastiff, your bull breed. Let's say you got another wild card, or like I call it a wild card dog that you want to add to your Mastiff bull breed cross or whatever, right? Then you got to buy that too. You know what I mean? So you at least got to come in the game with 3 dogs. I would say a male and 2 females. Okay. Now, let's say you get them, whatever. Let's say you found some good DNA, good genetics, because that's what you're shooting for. You want to, you want to eliminate the mess ups early. So you're trying to get the best master, the best bull breed, the best wild card dog, right? Get your 2 females. Let's say you pay 5 a piece. Or like Bandogs say, man, let's say you pay 4 a piece, right? But anyway, you at what? A 12 piece. If you pay 4, you bet a 15 piece. You pay 5, right? So you 15,000 in off the tip. Okay. Now you still got to create these dogs and pray that what you create is what you're going to receive, right? What your vision is, right? Is what you're going to receive in those puppies. You got to pray because we don't know. It's an experiment. We playing our mad scientists. Now, if you come into the dog game or the Bandog game, right? So we're talking Bandog specific to make money. You're not going to really make not even really. You're not going to make the money that you might expect you're going to make off these first initial breedings. As a matter of fact, these breedings should be something that you should be keeping for yourself, because you don't know out of those dogs that you cook up, those puppies that you produce off those F1s and the F2s, you don't know if that's going to produce what you ultimately want, right? Your vision. You don't know. So the reality of it is you're supposed to be keeping all those. However, you might really come in the game like, man, I need to make some bread because I just spent 15. I done spent 12. I need to make some money back. Okay. So boom, you say, okay, boom, I had this litter. I'm going to keep, a male and a female or whatever, 2 males, 2 females, whatever off this F1, boom. Now I'm selling the rest. Realistically, what you think you're going to get for your Bandogs? Realistically, maybe $1,000 if you blessed. Probably not. So you might be giving those away, man. 500, 200, right? Because ain't nobody really hip on that genetic mix that you got. Not too many people was hip on Bandogs. You follow what I'm saying? So you're not really gonna eat off them breedings that you're doing. You know what I mean? So there you go. In the beginning stages, is like doing Bandogs. It's gonna take you a while. It's gonna take you some time to solidify what you're asking if you're trying to make money, right? It's going to take some time for you to create these dogs, these hybrids, show the people what you've created, and then get them excited to pay for what you've created. It's going to take time. You're not going to be able to do that just out the gate, realistically, if we're being really, realistic. And that's what I want you guys to see it from a realistic perspective. Don't think that because you have a great Bandog on paper that's what it's going to be when you produce it. And then not only that, let's say it is what you see and what you envision on paper. That doesn't mean that the public is going to want to pay for that. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean that they're going to want to pay for it. So when it comes to the money side, of doing these band dogs, right? It's a niche market. Okay. You have to have people who know what band dogs are, not the breed, because it's not a breed, but know what they are as far as a working dog is concerned. Then you got to have people who are intrigued by your genetic recipe. And then you got to have a price that makes sense enough for them to be like, you know what, yeah, I'll buy your experiment. I'll pay what you're asking for your experiment because I see it. I want it. I like the dogs you use. I like your vision. I see the parents. Okay, I'll take a risk on that. You got to have all these things in play if you want to make money. Okay. So realistically, right? Because this is what we're talking about over here on my podcast. We're talking real in the field talk. We don't talk fantasy talk. Salute, Jerry. Much love and respect, man. Thank you for showing up again, man. I appreciate your support, like always, family. But I like to keep it realistic in the conversation, man. I don't want to be fabricating and blowing smoke up none of y'all's ass. When you come into this band dog world of dogs, and this is any dog, but we band dogging over here. You need to come in from a perspective of a hobbyist first. Okay. And the main reason why you want to come in as a hobbyist is because in reality, you're supposed to be keeping all your dogs. And it's hard to do because it's a lot of money keeping dogs, man. And you got to be able to keep those dogs, right? Right. Either have a kennel license or, make sure your neighbors is cool so they ain't snitching on you. So animal control don't come over there and hate on you, where you got to get a kennel license. Like, you got to have space. Like, you have to do it this way in order to achieve your goal in producing the ultimate, right? Because that's what I consider a band dog, the ultimate personal and property protection type dog, right? Family protection type dog, guardian dog, the ultimate, because we're able to cook up best dogs, best breeds to best breeds to make them work. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to take you some time in the lab. It's going to take you keeping litters and picking who performs the best, not just what looks the best phenotypically to y'all, because we like those dogs that look right. I like dogs that look good. However, it's got to look and perform evenly, right? It's got to have that look and performance. It can't just look and then, you slacking, and the one that's the little runt, she going harder, he going harder than you. Like, you can't have that, which plays, right? That plays in litters. We know this. If you breed, it could be the dog that you least expect that performs the best. You know what I mean? So you have to keep all the dogs when you first start cooking up these prototypes that we call band dogs. Okay. Once you keep them, you can assess what you envisioned in the lab when you cook the parents up. You can assess it in the offspring, all of them, not just, the ones you think as puppies, because in reality, a puppy ain't showing you nothing in reality. Okay. Because we got to be real when we talk about dogs, when we talk about breeding, when we talk about developing a dog. We have to be real. It takes time. Just like it takes time for you as a human being to develop, right? Even pros have to be developed, whether it be a pro athlete, a pro race car driver, it takes time for them to develop their skills at a high level. So we have to expect that same concept when it comes to our dogs, our puppies. So you come in with a hobbyist mind state, a frame of mind, so you can produce these dogs you envisioned, right? So let's say you took that slow and steady hobbyist approach, right? You didn't come in there like, oh man, I'm gonna come in the game, I'm gonna make these cool ass dogs, I'm gonna get money for them. You know what I mean? You might, but it's like playing a lottery, man. You might, but you're playing the lottery, man. Not too many people hit the lottery. And we know this. Okay. So you come in from the hobbyist mind state and you get into that mad scientist. And see, that's what really us as band dog lovers and band dog breeders and enthusiasts, this is why we should get excited about doing band dogs, especially if you love performance dogs. We can get on our mad scientists and cook up however we envision. The mad scientist level is why we should be excited about band dogs, because we can do this. It's allowed, right? It's allowed. So everything's experimental in the lab. So you cook it up, you keep the puppies, you watch the puppies, you see who's what, then you call them out, or you pet home them, right? You pet home them. That's what I mean by call, right? Pet home them, man. Hey, man, this dog will be good for you. You know what I mean? It's got some protection in it, you know what I mean? But it ain't going as hard as I want it to go. So, here you go. You can have it. Okay. However, that's the only way. That's the only way that you are going to see, okay, which dogs show you what you drew up in the lab when you decided to pair the mom and the dad together. If you don't do it this particular way that we're talking about, where you breed, especially when you're doing F1s, F2s, and etc., where you breed, right, to see if you got what you drew in the lab. You have to keep them all. Okay. Now, if I just did a F1, F2, and I'm thinking I'm gonna make 1,000 because homeboy down the way, or this band dog breeder sells his for 1,000 or whatever, right? You hearing that the going rate, people paying 1,000 for band dogs. Like, well, I can get 1,000 for this. You know what I mean? If you really think that that's gonna play, roll your dice, because that's really what it is. It's a dice roll. You might sell one for 1,000. You might, if your marketing is cool. You got some good marketing, you might sell one for 1,000. If that's the going rate for band dogs, you might sell one. Real talk. But realistically, because that's what we're talking about tonight. We talk realistically every Thursday night, but tonight we're talking real on this because I want y'all to understand the perspective. We got to be real with ourselves. We can't be blowing smoke up our ass about this shit. Realistically, it's probably not going to happen. So now you hear, let's say you have a 6-piece litter, right? You got a 12-piece litter. You can only keep 2 of them. You like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I can't even get a stack for these. I can't even get 1,000 for these dogs. Right? Then you go on, you do the clearance price on them. You can't even get that because people they're not understanding the band dog. You tell them it's a mixed breed, they thinking it's a mutt. So you can't even get what you feel that your dogs is worth. And a lot of people who are trying to breed these band dogs are running into this problem where they don't have a market to sell their dogs to, right? You'll go onto these forums, right? These band dog Facebook forums or the groups, and you'll post your band dogs on there, and then you'll get every pump faker. I call them pump fakers, by the way, who will say, how much? Where you located? And you'll give them you'll give them the shorty low price, man. You'll give them the Bob Barker. The price is right. And they still ain't gonna buy a dog from you. You see what I'm saying? And these are so-called band dog people. They're on these forums. Okay. This is what you can expect if you're trying to make money off of your band dogs. Okay. Now, if you've established yourself like Mr. Lee Robinson here, right? He's established himself. When you Google band dogs, Mr. Lee Robinson's American Sentinel pops up. Okay. So if somebody was curious about the term Bandogs and they Googled it, the representation of that dog would be American Sentinel, Mr. Lee Robinson. Now, we know, if you know Bandogs, Mr. Lee Robinson has put in a lot of work. Okay. His, let's say, being in the forefront of Bandogs wasn't something that happened randomly. It wasn't something that happened overnight. Young Reddy 109, man. Salute, man. Young Reddy. Salute to you, man. Welcome. Hey, I'll answer your question, PNEX. Once I'm done cooking, man. I'll answer your question, family. But you can't expect to be on the level of Mr. Lee Robinson because he put in the work in his program. You know what I'm saying? To be able to ask a certain type of ticket for his Bandogs. He's established his line already. He's done his F1s, F2s, F3s. Now he's into his family. He's into his families now. He's doing brother, sister, you know what I'm saying? He's doing his father, daughter, whatever. He's doing his mom's son. He's doing his uncle, you know what I'm saying? Nieces. Like, he's doing his line breeding now. He's established, right? He's not experimenting. Most of us in this Bandog genre, we're experimenting. We're on our mad scientist. And being that we're on our mad scientist, it's more hobby driven. And that's how it should be when we're over here creating. That's the beauty of why we're into Bandogs, because we are able to experiment with genetics. If you want to make money, that is a possibility. Salute to Mr. Lee Robinson. I'm sure he's making money. I mean, if you go to his site, he's asking $2,500 for a puppy. So respect him for what he has built, but he's deserving of that based off of his foundation. He's not in his experimental stage anymore. Most of us in this Bandog community are experimenting, I myself included. Okay. I myself am included in that experimentation. Okay. Now, based off of my story, and if y'all want to know my story, just go back, man. Shout out to YouTube. You can always go back and go to the previous episodes, look at the title, and you can get the story. But I was able to tap into, I was able to tap into a breeder who already had a Bandog program. Now, their Bandog program was not for Bandog purposes. Their Bandog program was for them to create their own bulldogs. Okay. That's why they were doing Bandogs. It wasn't for Bandogs specifically. That was them. That was their vision, which is, salute to them. That's their own vision. Okay. My vision was totally different when I acquired the genetics, the DNA, right? Spent the money on the DNA. Back to what I was telling y'all, like the steps that you take before you can make money, you got to spend money. So when I was spending money, I was buying genetics. That's when I learned about Bandogs through them. Okay. And then my vision evolved over time as I was doing my research in what a Bandog truly was and is. Okay. Then my vision evolved for what I was going to do with their genetics. Totally different than how they ended up taking their Bandog recipe and making their bulldogs with those Bandog genetics. Okay. Shout out to them, man. But like I was saying to y'all, okay, the majority of us is in the experimental stage of our programs, which, like I said, we should be excited about that because we can be. We can be excited about talking to another fellow dog man about or dog woman about what they're planning to cook up genetically with their band dogs and know that they're still in their experimental phase. You follow me? Hey, salute Tyree. Much love and respect to you, man. Welcome, man. Welcome, family. But we can be excited about that. Okay. And we should be able to understand that it's a process that we all are going through. We all are going through this. We are not at the level of Mr. Lee Robinson, where he has his family. He don't have to add nothing else. He don't. I remember maybe it was like a month ago that he has something on YouTube, man. And I'm sure y'all follow him. If y'all don't follow Mr. Lee Robinson, follow him, man. Follow him. Got to show the brother some respect for what he does, man. But he was talking about, getting rid of his game pit bull program. Pretty much like, he's willing to sell his foundation because he doesn't need it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like he's done with that phase of it. He's got enough of it in his Bandog program where he doesn't need to add it in there later on type stuff. And I'm sure, him being a breeder, I'm sure he's got some straws and stuff like that set aside. If he ever had to go and infuse a pure game pit bull back into his program, he can do that. But he was also talking about selling off his game pit bull line because he don't need it. So when you're at that stage, right, where you're out, your little outsourced DNA, you don't even need no more because you got enough variations in your line of Bandogs. I mean, you're set. You got the phenotype, you got the genotype, you got the temperament you want, right? You got the drives you want. I mean, what? Inbreed, line breed, inbreed, line breed, inbreed. You can keep doing that because you got so many different variations of your line of Bandogs, right? And shout out to Lee. He always breaks that shit down for y'all, man. It breaks it for us, really. But shout out to him, man. If y'all ain't follow him, go follow him, man. He gives us some great information. But he's established his line. He calls it American Sentinel. Now, I know that there's probably other Bandog breeders out there who have lines like Lee Robinson. I don't necessarily know of all of them. I'm not taking away from them. I'm just telling you about who I have paid attention to and watched. I got a lot of respect for Mr. Lee Robinson, so I can only speak for what I know because that's where, that's my platform. I'm speaking on what I know. I don't know everything. I only know what I know in the field, and I know who I study. And, I got to pay homage and pay salutes where it's due. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still in my experimental stage. I'm not where Mr. Lee Robinson is. Excuse me. I'm not where he is. I would hope to get there. I'm not where he is. Now, fortunately for me, I'm very fortunate to have been able to ride a wave that was already set when I bought genetics off of Buff Dogs. I was very fortunate, okay, to not have to do F1, F2, F3 even. I didn't even have to do none of that. They did all that. They had a name already for Bulldogs and even Bandogs. So when I came with their genetics and then infused my own, I had a head start, right? I had a head start on a level of Mr. Lee Robinson because I had name recognition behind what I was cooking. So when I was cooking up for me, right? When I was cooking up as a hobby breeder for me, the name behind who I used as far as my studs, because that's what I purchased. I purchased semen off of dead dogs, okay, which were their foundation dogs. I purchased that, okay. When I decided to cook up their foundation F3 to my pit bull bitch, my game pit bull bitch, my bitch I created, Okay. I had name recognition when it came to Bandog. If I mentioned Buff Dog, they knew what Buff Dogs was. They knew who the dog I used, and I threw my pit bull in there. That intrigued people. So when I did my first cook up as a hobbyist, I kept everything because I didn't know what the hell I was going to get, y'all. I didn't know what I was going to get out of that litter. I don't know nothing about the sire. I never owned them. I don't know nothing about Bandogs other than what the breeder told me and what I've read. So of course I have to keep everything. Of course, it's going to cost me some money, right? It's going to cost me money taking care of more puppies, more dogs, right? I'm experimenting, might be a flop. All these things could happen. However, I knew that I had to keep all the dogs in order for me to see what my experiment was going to produce. Phenotypically, like the look. I don't know what them dogs are going to look like. I don't know how them dogs are going to act. I don't know if them dogs are going to be unstable. I don't know nothing. But I didn't come in the game thinking, I'm going to do this band dog and I'm going to make, $1,000 a puppy. Like how, let's say Buff Dogs was selling theirs for $1,000 a puppy. Oh, I'm going to get with Buff Dogs because I got a Buff dog. I'm gonna get $1,000. I didn't come in, my mind didn't say that to myself. I'm like, I'm gonna cook this up. I'm gonna keep everything. I'm gonna keep everything because I need to learn what I'm doing as a dog man, as a breeder. I need to learn every puppy, whether it's a runt, whether it's the big dog, whether I need to see it. And so I did that. Okay. I did that. Now, as I'm learning, as the puppies grow, I'm seeing what they look like. I'm seeing how they act. You know, it's giving me an idea of what I have to present to the public if I was ever to do a breeding again, right? Because I already kept my foundation. So if I do a breeding again, I'm only keeping pieces of the puzzle now. I don't need the whole thing. I have a whole litter of foundation dogs to build on, to build upon. I have that. Okay. So I'm not even thinking about how much can I sell these dogs for. If I breed, these to another dog, what am I going to be? I'm not even thinking that because I'm learning. Okay. I'm learning. Now watch this, y'all. Now watch this. So those dogs grow up that I kept everything. Okay. I blessed what used to be kennel partner. I just gave him one. Here you go, man. He don't even know what he got. Cause that's who I am. Here you go, man. I'm gonna bless you with something. You don't even have no clue, but man, you'll see. Oh, you'll see what you got. You watch me in the field and you see what I do with what I got. But I'm gonna bless you because we kennel partners. Here you go. You ain't gotta pay for it, man. Get your transport. It's on the house, but I'm keeping everything else. So I watch these dogs grow, and I'm like Bando, salute Bando. Hey, I love your content, man. You already know, man. I've got a lot of respect for you and what you're pushing out there about the toy drive versus man drive. So I got all the equipment. I mentioned this before in previous episodes. I got all the equipment to do agitation work. I got the bite suit, all the different bite sleeves, intermediate, high, all the shit, pro level, whatever. I got the full everything, but I ain't never used it, man. That stuff's sitting in my shed, brand new. Okay, because I'm thinking, that's the level I gotta play with these type of dogs. That's why I bought everything. I gotta agitate them, make them attack dogs. But I didn't, no, I'm so busy. I got so much dogs to take care of. I don't have the time. I'm a one-man band. I do everything myself. So I ain't got time to agitate, film, tape, do everything. I don't have the time. So anyway, I just let the dogs be dogs because I want to see. I want to see genetically, like, what do I got? What does a Neapolitan Mastiff do? I can read about it Google, but what does it do? I don't know, but my dog got it in him. I have American Bulldogs, so I know what they do, right? What does a German Boxer do? imported from Germany type boxer, not the American one, but the German one that, what does that do? I've read about it, but I've never seen it. So I really wanted to organically, y'all, see what that dog can do. Because I know what a pit bull can do because I breed those. Okay. But I don't know what the other breeds do. So anyway, I got a chance to see it, y'all. From one male and 3 females. I got a chance to see it. And each one, of course, is different. That's why you keep the whole litter. Each one is different phenotypically, okay, genotypically, temperament-wise, drive-wise. They all had the same athleticism. I noticed that. I was able to assess that. Okay. Very fast dogs, fast twitch muscles. You know what I'm saying? Very light on their feet. You know what I mean? But I never did any type of agitation work. Never tried to like make them upset. You know what I mean? Just to see, oh, will they bite? Never did that. Now, over time, right? About 2 years old. So earlier on, I'm gonna tell you this. Earlier on, I got a little spring pole with the bite sleeve, bite toy type thing on it or whatever. And earlier on, right, all the dogs, those Bandogs used to love that spring pole and biting shit. They used to love that shit. Like they loved it, which was cool, right? It's like, okay, that's that toy drive that Bandog be talking about. I'm like, oh, look at these dogs bite. Oh, look at them. You know what I mean? It's impressive seeing them bite something. Like, oh, look at they bite. Over time, they saw it as a toy. Like I seen it in their conscience. They would see it and they're like, oh, I don't want to bite that no more. Like I would swing it, try to motivate them. I don't want to bite that no more. Okay, you don't want to bite that. All right, cool. Get the flirt pole. They like the flirt pole, man. Especially my boy AR-15, the only male. He loved the flirt pole, man. I couldn't really bring that out because he don't want to let it go and stuff. So it's like, damn, I don't even want to deal with him because you got to down there get the bite stickers to get him off the flirt pole. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't even want to play with you with that thing. So you know what I mean? But he loved that. Eventually, he wasn't playing with that either. I'm like, what? You ain't playing with the flirt pole? You don't want to bite the spring pole, bite sleeve? And this is like around 2 years old. And they kind of, all of them kind of just lost interest in that toy shit. So I'm like, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I wanted just to naturally see what I had, y'all. I wanted just to naturally see without me trying to provoke what I had. So as the dogs started to mature, okay, age 3, right? Okay, they all had prey drive. And as they got older, okay, so I had 3 females. I had 3 females together. Okay, because in that genetic mix that I had, which was a Neapolitan Mastiff, German Boxer, American Bulldog, Game Pit Bull, they got prey drive, man drive, they got strength, athleticism, they got size, they got all the things that you would want in a cook up. But it has to mesh, right? That's our goal as Bandog breeders. We need them to mesh, be balanced. We don't want it to be overweight, prey drive, no man drive. Overweight, man drive, no prey drive. Too much aggression, no off switch. Like we want them to mesh. So I had 3 females that I had in a pack. Okay. And they were cool with each other until about 1.5 years. All 3 of them. They used to be in the same kennel. Everybody was cool. It was all copacetic. Pack dynamics was cool. And then there was an energy that was off. Okay. I have a bitch named Silver Bullet. Okay. Her energy, for some reason, when it came to them having a little pack scuffles, because every dogs, they have they pack scuffles where they fight a little bit, but it doesn't get to the point where they're trying to maul each other. Well, one day I come down and my dogs get excited when they see me, and it becomes very competitive, the energy. So in this situation that was not the norm between these 3 girls, it got high tension in their little kennel space, their 10 by 10 that they were staying in, and it got out of hand to the point where there was no reconciliation. and they were trying to literally kill their pack. It was, they had a pack dynamic. They were sisters since birth, y'all. They tried to kill Silver Bullet. They wasn't fighting each other all, every, 3-on-3, everybody get at each other. No, they was at her. And they were trying to kill her. And I was like, you know what? This is too much. You know what I mean? Like, this is too much. Y'all doing too much. Like, y'all know y'all supposed to reconcile. Normally, y'all reconcile. Why y'all trying to kill her? But at the end of the day, right? Okay. I don't know the level of drives in these. I'm learning the dogs. I'm not knowing the level of prey drives in these dogs. Now, with Silver Bullet, she's very prey driven. The girls are too, but she's even more so. So, with dogs, especially packs, if they feel that one is dominant in an area, they'll team up. If one is more dominant in an area, they'll team up to dominate that one that's more dominant. So Silver Bullet was more dominant in the prey drive. They didn't like how she was dominant in that way. They didn't like her energy, and they tried to kill her. This is a 1.5-year-old dogs. I had to come in there, and it was crazy, man. It was crazy. But I learned a valuable lesson. Silver Bullet got to get out. She got too much prey drive. Now she's in her own space, and now I see why they was trying to kill her. Because now she's in her own space, and she's setting off all the other dogs. She's jumping up. She's going crazy. I can see her energy. I got a common area where I let my dogs kind of roam in the common area. She's trying to hit every dog that come by her fence. I'm like, oh, I see why they try to kill you. Okay. But see, I have to learn this. I'm in my experimental state. I'm just giving y'all an example of, being a hobbyist and learning your dogs. And, you have these expectations, but you don't know. And, let's say you breeding these dogs and you got these Bandogs and stuff like that. And you feel like, you got the best stuff cooking, but you don't even necessarily know what they do because you never had a chance to watch your F1s, F2 develop. Okay. That's why you keep everything. So I can see it. And I'm seeing this in my females. Okay. The girls that used to play and have that toy drive. Okay. Love to bite the sleeve on the spring pole and looked all cool. Like, oh, these dogs bite. Oh, and chase the flirt pole and all that stuff. They love that. Then they lost interest in it. Now they want to bite each other. See what I'm saying? Now they want to bite each other. So fast forward. Because I'm learning this. We're hobbyists first, y'all. So I'm learning as I'm experimenting, right? Doing my mad scientist. I'm learning what I created. So Silver Bullet, man, I go and I'm doing my normal routine, and she has her own space now. She's in her own lane. Now she's 2. She has her own space. And when I come in, right, she sets up the energy again, right? She sets up the energy for everybody. She going crazy. She doing her jumping up and down, only when she sees me. She's, she's a good dog. But when she sees me, she competition mode. Whatever's in her mind, she's in competition. But she can't, when she wants to exert her authority, she's doing it to everybody, even myself. This is what I learned about her. She's doing it even to me. So I go into her kennel to clean up like I normally do, right? Clean up, do what I do. I go into there and I lift the latch. I go in there and she bites me. Now, it wasn't a malicious bite. It was a dominant, she's trying to exert her authority over me now. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've never had one of my dogs just bite me like that for no reason. She had a reason, but to me, I didn't do nothing to you, bitch. I'm just going in like I normally do and cleaning up. But because she was so hyped up, she would have bit anybody, a dog, me, whoever got in there. And it happened to be me because I came into her space, not knowing that she was going to bite me. So she bit me. That bitch bit me. Now, I never done any type of agitation to this bitch to make her feel like it's okay to bite me as a man. I've never had any of my dogs ever bite me before. But because I come in her space when she's hype and she's letting everybody know it's on, whatever, whatever energy she's projecting to the pack, I'm part of that, I'm letting you know it's on too, daddy. Now, of course, I discipline them. I discipline. That's one thing that I do. I discipline dogs. I treat them like how the alpha would treat them. I discipline the shit out of her because like, bitch, you ain't gonna bite me. But she did. So guess what I saw in that bitch? Man drive. Now, thank God for me and her too, because she would have lost her life if she really bit me on a malicious play. She just bit, you know what I mean? It was a snap. It wasn't no like she tried to latch on, try to do damage to me. She just, she checked me. You come in my space, I'm her. Gave me a quick little nip, right in the rib too, right in the rib cage. You know what I mean? Broke some skin. But when she got that ass whooping, she knew what time it was afterwards because I definitely showed her what time it was. Okay. However, I seen genetically how she ain't got a problem checking a grown man if she need to. Okay. So we're in the experimental stages. I'm learning, y'all, my dogs. So now check this out. Now I'm about to cook up my own Bandog recipes now. Now I got my foundation Bandog. I'm learning them. I didn't rush them. I didn't say, hey, I'm going to breed after a year and a half. I waited till they was 3 years old, y'all, because I wanted to know what I was breeding because I'm new to Bandogs. I wanted to know, like, am I creating a time bomb? Am I creating a liability? I don't want to be selling liabilities to people. I know I want a dog that can protect me from a man and prey. I know that's why I got my Bandogs. I love the fact that I can cook up my own mixes, but I don't want to be able to have these dogs and then sell them to somebody and they got to deal with something that's unstable. I didn't want that to happen. Okay. So I learned my dogs for the first 3 years, all of the ones I kept. And every single one has a different personality. Okay. I've never had to worry about that energy towards me with AR-15. As far as, this bitch will bite me or this boy will bite me. Okay. Not to say that they won't, but I've never had that projected towards me. Okay. Nor from Silver Bullet sisters. Okay. Now, when it comes to prey, they all nuts. They all are nuts. So when it comes to prey, and I live in the woods, I have 6.5 acres in the woods on a hill. We got bears, we got mountain lions, we got deer, we got all kind of different prey where I live at. Okay. Plus, I have a pack of dogs. So I see how my band dogs react to animals, which will be prey. And the drive is tremendous. I've seen my girl Prima Donna, okay, snatch up my pit bull bitch as she passed by her kennel. You know what I mean? I seen her as she passed by, snatch that bitch up and try to kill her. Okay. Now, I have like I tell y'all, I run a tight ship. So all my dogs are contained. Okay. And if they do get out, it's thank God it's only when they hear me and then they do all kind of crazy stuff that they do. They find a way to, my dogs are very crafty and smart. My dogs can jump out of 10x10s and 5x10s and whatever. They're athletic. Be careful what you create because you just might get it. You know what I mean? But I'm just blessed enough to where my dogs only do that when they know I'm coming. They calm when I'm, like it's quiet now. I got 30 plus dogs and you wouldn't even know it. But as soon as I step out, as soon as I open the door, and I live on 6.5 acres, they letting everybody know, oh, it's daddy. And then they going crazy. They going crazy. You know what I'm saying? They jumping, they doing whatever, but I can contain my stuff. But I've seen my dogs do things that genetically is what I drew them up to do. See what I'm saying? Because it's an experiment. Now I'm seeing, oh, genetically, I put that in you. prima donna, that prey drive, and that strength to be able to take a game pit bull and snatch that bitch up. And to be able to take the pain of getting bit back from that bitch, but it ain't phasing you because you just got drive to want to kill it. Okay. So I'm seeing all these things, y'all. You see what I'm saying? Because we're in the experimental stage. So now here we go. Okay, here we go. Now I know what I got. Okay, without me having to persuade the dog by agitating it to want to bite. Right? I'm seeing genetically those 4 different breeds come out. Right? I'm seeing the bulldog in my Bandogs as far as the ability to take pain. I'm seeing these things like, damn, that's what, you know what I mean? Like, for example, AR-15, the nutso. And then he also showed me something too that kind of showed me he was, he wasn't as tough as I thought he was, but he has tremendous hops. And he does things, which to me I think is stupid, but I know it's just to get attention. But he'll jump up into his 10 or his 5x10, and he'll jump up to the top of it and come down and just run up and jump to the top of it. So he jumped up and caught the latch on the kennel, and it, man, lacerated his side, right? Lacerated, opened it up to the white meat to the rib. Okay, saw the bone, everything. I come out there and I knew what he did because I'm like, how else would you do that? And I know what he does, right? So, but it ain't phasing him. I touch it, try to close it up, you know what I mean? So I'm like, he ain't hurting him. So I'm like, okay. I'm, now I'm putting the math in my head. Okay, you got that bulldog in you. You could take the pain. Okay. You could take pain. You could dish it out and you could take it. So, that's in my lab notes. Because when you create these performance type dogs that are built to hunt, they have to be able to take it. Because you don't want them to cur out when they under pain, right? If you're out there hunting, right? And I'm talking about hunting, you know what I mean? Not dog fighting. I'm talking about hunting with them, whether you're doing boar hunting, whatever you're doing, coyote, whatever hunting you're doing, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about fighting dogs. But if you're hunting prey and that prey inflicts damage, you can't be over there bitching out when you're trying to give damage, right? So I'm seeing my dog's pain tolerance through AR-15 taking that little hit. So I'm like, okay, he can take some pain and shit. Okay. So it's in my notes. Now, okay, I have to say this too, because we keep it real on my channel. So I have a dog, right, that I had next to AR. And I mentioned this actually on another episode, but I'll mention it again because this is in my lab notes too. About my Bandog recipe. Well, at least AR-15, the male I have, the only one male I have, which is my foundation male. Okay. So I had another dog next. So I have one of my XL Pitbull Dracos. His name is Black Hawk, off of AK-47 and Holy Spirit, right? Okay. Now, AR-15, he's a bully. He's a bully. He agitates every dog because he wants to smoke. Okay. He's done it to AK-47. He does it to any dog. He wants to smoke. So I have these, pretty strong kennels, and I have the young lad Black Hawk right next to him. You know what I mean? He's about 1 year old, but he's a product of, AK-47 and my game bitch, Holy Spirit. Now, he's as big as his dad as far as this phenotype, but he's fucking a bulldog like his mom, which is Holy Spirit, who don't feel no pain, who want all the smoke, who's just a gladiator. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's a real gladiator, real life, wants everything, takes it all. Okay. He is her, even though he looks like his daddy, right? So anyway, long story short, AR been antagonizing him ever since I moved him over there next to him. And I haven't put the partitions, which I actually moved them away, by the way, but I will be putting partitions anywhere where AR is, and anybody else that, I know that can break, bend, steal kennel bars and get at it, get in action. So long story short, AR is so smart, My boy Blackhawk, he likes, he likes his little balls and little Kongs and stuff. Like he got a chew fetish like his daddy, but his things is Kongs and shit and balls. He likes to chew them things up and break them. So AR is so smart, he goes and he takes it. He catch him slipping and he'll take it from him, right? Now, that's gonna get that boy that's very bite driven, which is Blackhawk is very bite driven, is gonna, get him to the point where he just gonna be to the point of no return until he get his ball back. So anyway, long story short, I come down and I noticed that he don't got his ball. And as soon as I come down, it always turns up. It always turns up when I come out. Competition's up, level up. Now AR doing this extra credit. And then, now Blackhawk trying to get his ball somehow, some way, but he can't get his ball because AR pushed his ball on the other side. So soon as AR goes near Blackhawk, because I'm coming down, he goes over there and like puts his nose near there to kind of like antagonize him, man. Blackhawk grabs that motherfucking AR by his nose, grabs him by his nose, and chomps on that boy. And that's the first time I ever heard that boy fucking make noise. I was like, oh, you a bitch. Excuse my language, y'all. But that's the first thing I said. Oh, you a bitch now. Take that. I didn't break it up. I let him figure out how to break loose. Because you know what? Because like I said, with AR, he deserved all that. He set the energy off wrong in the pack. He antagonized everybody out. And I felt good that he felt that. But at the same time, mathematically, in my notes, I had to put that down. Oh, he fucking cried when that boy grabbed him by the nose. The guy who acts so tough, but when he got grabbed by the nose and Blackhawk was over there crunching on his nose, he was over there crying like a little bitch. You know what I'm saying? So I had to put that in my notes. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, this is what I'm assessing in my dogs because I need to know what they're able to do and what they're capable to do. So when I cook up the next generation, I need to make sure that, that pain tolerance got to go up, man. On the offspring. Now watch this. Y'all. Prima Donna, his sister, is just like her mother. Okay, which is Holy Spirit. Okay, which is Blackhawk's mother. Okay. So what's so crazy is that AR-15's mom is Blackhawk's mom. Okay, but AR-15's pain tolerance is high, but it ain't as high as Blackhawk's. Ain't as high as his mother's. Ain't as high as his sister's. So when I'm in the lab, because I want my pain tolerance to be real high, I got to make sure that the bitch I throw AR to got high pain tolerance, which I did. So anyway, okay. So when I decided to do my breeding, y'all, with AR-15, that was my first one. AR-15, and I had an American Bulldog bitch named Tigress. Okay. Now, Tigress is what I call a sporting bulldog. What I mean by that is that she's not bully. She's got the bully frame, but she's not a bully version of a bulldog. She's like a pit bull version of a bulldog, but she's got the bulldog frame, right? They got that extreme front. She got the extreme front. You know what I mean? But she's built like a game pit bull, real tight muscle, got the tuck, real shredded up. She's got more of a snout. You know what I'm saying? She can breathe clear as day. She's got crazy drive, prey drive. Okay. And she a real bulldog. Okay. What I mean by real bulldog, she could take it and dish it out. Okay. She could take it and dish it out. Now, like I tell y'all, the reason why I know these things is because I have pack dynamics in my dogs because I have so many dogs. So I try to pair them up and put them in packs because I have so many. So then I see how packs interact and I see them, I see pack politics. You understand what I'm saying? And I see reconciliation. I see curring happening. I see crying happen. I see people who are dogs that take a beating that give it. I see this in my pack dynamics, but I'm always there to referee because I don't condone it. Costs too much money when you have injured dogs, right? For those dogmen who understand kennel accidents, cost you too much money. So I'm always refereeing, and I'm grateful that I'm always there when my dogs show out. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful that my dogs at least allowed a referee, at least allow me, the pack leader, to be there so I can stop the bullshit. So when I decided to cook up AR-15 at age 3 and make my own Bandog recipe, right? I decided to use Tigress because I wanted something that was going to complement AR. Okay. I still wanted the athleticism. I still want an extreme but correct frame. You know, like I had my vision and I wanted to continue it. So I said, you know what? I'm using Tigress, my full blood sporting American Bulldog that acts like a pit bull. Okay. Has no breathing issues whatsoever. But she still has that extreme frame. I like the extreme frame though. You know what I mean? I want wow factor in my dogs. I don't want a narrow dog. I want an extreme but correct dog. So I knew I was going to get that from Tigress. I want the muscle. I want the drive. I want the breathing ability. I want the temperament. So I cooked them up with Tigress. Now, coming in, right, I didn't know what I was going to charge, y'all. Goes back to, you know, do you breed Bandogs to make money? I didn't know what I was going to charge because I'm experimenting, y'all. I'm in the lab. I'm in the lab. Now, I knew I did my due diligence in letting the world know who AR-15 was, right? It took me a while to introduce the world to Tigress, but once I did, people respected what Tigress looked like. I got some good feedback, you know, through social media about Tigress. So I'm like, what should I charge, right? Because I'm not knowing anything as far as what I'm going to produce, because I'm still, you know, I'm in my F4. You feel what I'm talking about? I'm in my F4 range, right? Because they already did the F3. Actually, no, I'm in my F5. They did F3. I did F4, then I'm doing F5 right now. Okay. So I'm still like not knowing, y'all. But I'm like, what am I going to charge for these puppies, right? Because, you know, I'm only going to probably keep what I need. So long story short, I get the puppies, they come out, and I get what I get. I get 2 males, no, 3 males, and I think what? No, 3 males and 2 females. I get a 5-piece and 2 females. Did I get 2 females? Yeah, I get a 5-piece, y'all. I only get a 5-piece that round. So I'm like, damn it, only a 5-piece. But when I posted the puppies, man, bruh, I mean, I couldn't believe how much like the response I got back. So many people wanted the puppies. As a matter of fact, that's the fastest litter I sold out. My experiment. Now, because of that demand that I got from when I posted those puppy pictures, I said, you know, I'm asking 2,000, and I got it. Now, that's, you know, that's the luck of the draw, you guys. You see what I'm saying? I didn't know what I was going to charge because it was an experiment. I didn't know what those dogs would look like because it was an experiment. I had it in my lab notes because that's what I do, right? Before I breed anything, it's a plan of action before I even do it. But monetarily, did I know I was going to make any money? No, I didn't. Did I know I was going to charge? No, I didn't. I didn't know nothing. I did that breeding for me, just like I did the first one for me. But because I had such a demand and I only have 5 puppies, I didn't even get none for myself. I sold them all for 2,000. Okay. I know what Lee Robinson sell this for, 2,500. I asked 2,000 for dogs that I was experimenting with, y'all. No papers. No papers. They saw AR-15 because I've been promoting them. They seen Tigress because I've been promoting her. But then they seen the puppies and they went crazy over the puppies. They were intrigued not only by what the puppies look like, but because I had a Neapolitan Mastiff, German Boxer, American Bulldog, and Game Pit Bull all in the cook up. They was intrigued by everything, and they 2000, man. I need 2000 done. I'm like, damn. Yeah, you ask a pit bull person who want a top tier pit bull to pay 2000, nigga. Yeah, right. Right? You see what I'm saying? You got the best pedigree on paper. I need 2000. Well, 2000 is too much. I had dogs, no papers. My experiment, okay. I even had and this right here was pretty crazy, but I had somebody, right, who is like a record executive, hit me up about a female that I already sold. Okay. My girl cowgirl, which I got back from my nephew. My nephew bought her. He, as soon as he saw her, he bought her. Like, I gotta get her. He bought her, cashed out. Boom. I had this record exec that wanted her so bad. Said, "Hey, tell your nephew I'll pay 1,000 over for that bitch. I'll pay 3,000 for her. I want her now." Like he was serious about it. My nephew's like, "No, I don't want none." Nope, because they were so excited about the dogs, the cook up, what they could do, possibly do. Because we don't know if they're going to be able to do it anyway, because it's an experiment. But they were excited about that. So right there alone, the experiment that we're doing as hobbyists, cooking up these dogs, I'm like, oh shit, I can make some money on these Bandogs. I can make some money on these Bandogs. Okay. Now, the real to this breakdown for y'all is the fact that I didn't know I could make some money on them Bandogs. You understand what I'm talking about? I did not know that I could make money on Bandogs. I had no clue of what I could charge. 1,500. I didn't know nothing. But because I'm in it as a hobbyist, I'm in it for the love to create these performance dogs, these ultimate performance dogs, right? I had to cook up for me first. Now, I didn't even get nothing out of that one because it was too much of a demand. I didn't have enough for myself. I had too many people wanting to buy the dogs. I didn't have enough dogs to sell them. So it worked in my favor at that particular point in time. Okay. That I actually made some money off of that breeding. Okay. 2,000 for a Bandog that, a fucking, what they would call a mutt, but it wasn't it's not a mutt because it was planned, right? But the haters out there would say, oh, that's a mutt. Well, I made 2 bands off my mutts each, sold it out in 2 weeks. No problem. Okay. But see, that's not realistic. Because we're talking realistic over here. To think that you can do that. Because I didn't think I could do it. Okay. It just so happened that what I cooked up with AR-15 genetics and Tiger genetics produced some amazing dogs. Amazing. And I actually got that female that my nephew bought because he had a situation where he couldn't keep his dogs because he had to move. So I got that bitch back. So I was able to get something off of that bitch. I got her. Okay. She's only a year old. So she's still developing. But she's she's genetically what I cooked up. Because that's the only way we know as Bandog breeders, as hobbyists, what we're creating. We have to keep them. We have to watch them develop over the years. You're not going to see a potential of a dog until at least 3 years old. You're not going to see the potential. The dog is still growing, even at 3. But 3, you can get a solid idea of what you got at 3 years old. That's my opinion. Dealing with so many dogs. I've dealt with so many. I still deal with some, but I've dealt with so many dogs. I don't see nothing fully until about 3 years old. Like, okay, I see where you're going. I see where you're headed. I see where I'm going to be able to take you at 3. You've shown me it all the way until age 3. All your developmental stages I'm seeing you grow more confident in your dogism once you turn 3. Like, okay, I see it, because you'll see it. You'll see where a dog might not be confident in its early stages, and then as it grows more mature, it grows more confident. You'll see it if you're paying attention, if you're taking notes like I do. If you're able to let your dogs organically be what they're going to be. And I've mentioned this too before to you guys about, you know, being the pack leader, developing dogs, stuff like that. Like, I don't have to, me personally, I don't have to direct train my dogs. I have the pack that helps me train my dogs because the pack want to be me. So you know how you would go and, teach your dog obedience, sit, come, stay, because the pack want me so badly. They want my attention as the dog guy so badly that I don't have to tell my dogs come 1,000 times for them to come, sit 1,000 times for them to sit, because they want my attention so badly because the pack says we want his attention. They just listen. My dog will break loose. I tell that bitch, come here, come here. They'll listen, they'll come. I never, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never have to do repetitive work because I have the pack teaching the pack who I am and that they need to listen to me. Now, when you want to be precise with your training, yeah, it's going to take me to, one-on-one time, precise, direct training. Yeah. But the basic obedience, my dogs listen to me. They do. And it's because of their genetics. Main thing. That's the main thing, right? You got to have a smart dog that understands the dynamic of packs. And that's the pack leader. That is daddy. We listen to him because he feeds us. He takes care of us. He takes us out. And then the dog's going to use their common sense. As they get older and mature, they'll start using their own common sense. They'll start picking up on things without you having to teach them it. They just start watching it, seeing it, pick up on it. Okay, well, he comes out. Okay, oh, he's got the leash. That means he's going to take us out. Okay, let me sit down. Let me look him in the eye. Let him know I want to go out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't got to tell my dogs that they see the leash, they know what time it is. I ain't like, oh, the leash, it's time to go out. Nope. They see a dog get their ass whooped. They're like, oh, he got in trouble or she got in trouble. Like, dogs can pick this stuff up, y'all. But I digress. Okay, back to the subject matter. Okay, back to the subject matter. Should you breed Bandogs to make money or as a hobby? Okay. Okay. It should be as a hobby first. Okay. Enjoy the process of being a creator first. Trial and error your experiments in the lab first. Make sure you can keep all the dogs out the litter or be able to piece them to people that you can go and do some checks and balances and check on that dog you gave to your partner so that you can assess in your lab notes what you created. Now, if you're blessed enough, because it's really, it truly is a blessing in where, you create something that people want to buy. If you're blessed enough to create something that people want to buy, and you can put a price tag on it that makes sense for you and the people who want to purchase it, then you're ahead of the game when it comes to Bandogs. You're ahead of it. Doesn't mean that you can't achieve it eventually, but you're ahead if you're able to cook up your F1s and F2s and F3s and F4s, and people want to spin on that experiment that you have. You're ahead. Now, realistically, the only way you can really be ahead is you got to buy into a program that's already established and then add your twist to it, like I did. Okay. I realistically couldn't have done an F1 and got $2,000 right out the gate. Because we being real here on my channel. I ain't blowing no smoke up y'all asses. Okay. I'm not going to get you hype on something that is not going to happen for you. So you can't come out the gate and hit your F1s and think you're going to come out there and swing a home run and get you a band or 2 bands or 2,000 or 1,000 for a Bandog. Nope. Don't do it to yourself. Okay? Don't. Now, if you're realistic, you do what I'm telling you to do. Okay? Cook up your stuff. Keep your stuff. You never know which one of those puppies, whether it be the smallest or the biggest or the medium size, or the one that's shy now, and then the one that's aggressive now, and then, the aggressive one gets curved out by the shy one. You don't know. You don't know. We in the lab. Just like your kids. If y'all have kids, you might have a kid that, he might be getting bullied for a little bit. Or he was the smallest, all of a sudden he hit his growth spurt, now he the big dog. You see what I'm saying? You might have a kid that was slow. You might have thought he had autism, but you just didn't know how to, you didn't know what made him tick. Then all of a sudden, you figured out what made that autism kid tick. Now all of a sudden he's the nerd, he's the smart, he's the genius. Same thing with your dogs. Same thing with your dogs. Especially when you're throwing all type of different breeds together with different phenotypes and genotypes, and you're mixing their genetics together. I mean, what you getting? You're getting gumbo. How you gonna know what's in the gumbo unless you taste all the things that's in the gumbo, so you can know what's in it? That's why us as Bandog breeders, right? We go ahead and do what we do, right? Right? We experiment and keep. So we can see that dog has this, that dog has that dog represents this, that dog represents that dog shows this side of the family, that dog shows that side of the family. This dog is unstable, this dog is stable, this dog is balanced. How else would you know? You can't know by picking out a puppy. Okay? Every breeder can tell you that. A real one that's going to be real. Don't let the ones lie to you. Oh, I know which puppy is going to be perfect. Stop lying. You're lying. We don't know. We don't know. Okay? Now, the only ones that can tell you what I'm telling you is the ones that keep all the puppies in the litter. We can tell you by data, because that's why we keep them all, to get data. So when you're doing Bandogs, your initial breedings you should be keeping or placing the people where you can make sure you can see and you can say, okay, well, damn it, ones I picked, was cool. It was cool in the beginning, but the one you got now at 2 years old is killing the one I kept. So I need to keep those genetics on the ones that you got. The one I got, you know what I mean? But that doesn't mean throw that one you got in the trash. What that means is that you got to go find something that adds to the one that lacks. That's where, that's what, makes us breeders. We know how to add what is lacking. Okay. But still, the process is the same until you get to the point where you're Lee Robinson. You got a family of dogs. It's pretty consistent what you're probably going to get. So you ain't got to keep the whole litter. You probably keep 2 or 3 because it's consistent. You know what I mean? You got a family of dogs with a family of genetics that is consistent. You're not experimenting like we are currently in these band dogs. We're experimenting. Everything is all over the place. The genetics are not tight. Okay. So I got a cook up that I'm going to do. Okay. I'm actually waiting for this one now. Okay. Because, you know, something I'm going to do from here on out. Because I got all my dogs that I've, you know, wanted to produce for my program. I finally created all my dogs that I wanted to produce for my program. So I ain't got to breed no more. Now I got one more, actually two, but really one more. Okay, two was extra credit. The second one's extra credit. I got one more I'm going to do. Okay, I got a Kangal, a real life Kangal from overseas, from Serbia. And, you know, I like to create dogs. If y'all don't know that that's what I do, that's what I do. I create my own dogs, my own. That's what I do. Not everybody does it, but I do. So I got a Kangal from overseas. And I got a dog named AK-47 Chopper, aka the Bone Crusher, that I got from overseas too. Spent top tier dollars on AK-47 Chopper. Now, I'm like, you know what? These people are doing these bull herders. Okay. They're using Dutch Shepherds, they're using Malinois, whatever they're using, German Shepherds, right? And they're using pit bulls. So I'm like, I want to take a Kangal, which we know what a Kangal can do bite force wise. We know their courageousness when it comes to protecting the flock. We know what they can do. We know their size and all that. If you know Kangal, go. If you don't know Kangal, go do your research. Google them. So I'm like, you know what? Me being the Formula One of canines, and I'm into performance that much, and I feel like I'm an engineer when it comes to designing performance dogs. I need a dog like that in my program. The Kangal. I was blessed enough to have the eye of the tiger when it was time for me to get second pick male to pick out my boy, AK-47 Chopper, aka the Bone Crusher, as a puppy. That's just my experience of picking out dogs. I just got blessed, not lucky, blessed. So I'm like, you know what? I want to create me a double XL bull herder that is going to be great for property and family protection. Not an attack dog. I'm going to take the genetics from what a Kangal is used for, which is to protect the flock at all cost. And then take my double XL Pitbull freaking nature, which has the bite power, the muscle power, the drive power, the bone power, the strength. I mean, has all the freak of nature genetics, and blend them to make the ultimate double XL bull herder. Okay. I got one more I'm going to cook up. One more. Okay. But at the same time, guess what I'm going to do, y'all? Okay. I'm going to probably take two of each sex. I'm going to take two males, two females. And guess what I'm going to do with those dogs? I'm going to breed brothers and sisters together. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Because my genes are so diverse, I can do that a few times before it starts to break down. I can do that a few times before it starts to break down. I start to get some problems because the gene pool is so opposite of each other. There's nothing familiar in AK-47 in that Kangal. There's nothing genetically familiar. I can go family to family, family to family. Probably can do that shit probably 10 times before it start to break down. Realistically. Because we only keep it real here. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. by the way. But at the same time, see, that's how we got to do our things with these band dogs. It's experimenting. It's experimenting. Now, I will tell y'all this now. I will tell y'all this too, on top of this, on top of what we're talking about with the hobby play. If you happen to breed, okay, if you happen to breed a band dog that has the wow factor, which is just the visual, it's the visual thing. Like people see, like, what kind of dog is that? It has that a sex appeal visually. And it happens to have the ability of what a band dog stands for, then you will probably get a good penny for your dogs, y'all. You know, because guess what? The consumer can't shop you. You understand what I'm saying? They can't go to the next breeder who's offering it for the shorty low. They can't, because they can't get that same phenotypical look. They can't get that same genetic recipe from anybody else but you. So you can stand firm on your price tag. There is the benefit to us who breed a dog at that level that has the curb appeal to make somebody want to buy it. Kind of where I bumped my head and was blessed when I bred AR-15 to Tigress, and I had a curb appeal on puppies that the individuals couldn't refute my $2,000 price tag for unpapered band dogs. Because, you know, people put so much value on papers, which we know they don't mean shit. It's extra credit, right? It's just extra credit to have paperwork on your dogs. But it don't mean that the dog is going to be worth shit. But that's what, you know, the dog world put value on that stuff. So for me to not have paperwork on my band dogs, y'all, because I had something that was my own and my consumers couldn't find it anywhere else, they knew that if I asked $2,000 and they wanted it, they had to pay it. So there is a benefit in the future once you guys establish y'all's breed of band dogs that you can get good money like Mr. Lee Robinson gets, or like I've been able to receive. So check this out, a testimony. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all a testimony. I ran that breeding back 2023 with AR-15 and Tigress. I was able to get 3,000 a puppy the second time around. Okay, I blessed an individual with 2,500 for a puppy. Actually, I did bless my dude Sean 2,500, but 3,000 this time, you guys. Nobody bitched about it. I gave my boy Sean a $500 discount. He didn't bitch about it. But you know why? Is because I bought into something that was already established. I just added to what, you know what I'm saying? Like I was able to be, like I said, F5. See what I'm saying? So my band dogs are already established. So anything I add to it should make it better than what that breeder who established it did. Anything I add to their recipe should make it better, especially if you're performance driven in your genetic recipes. I'm not just look driven, phenotypical. I'm not just what I see in my performance. I need them to do what I see. If that makes sense, you guys. I want them to do. Okay. I produced my last band dog that I needed for my program, my last breeding I just did. which is Roman times prima donna. Okay. Uncle to niece breeding. Okay. Which was the most expensive band dog that I've produced as far as what I asked for. $3,500, you guys. 3,500. That's more than what Buff Dogs ever asked for anything that they've ever produced. That's more than Lee Robinson has asked for anything that he's produced. And like I said, we're not knocking anybody, whether it be Buff Dogs. We're not knocking Mr. Lee Robinson. I don't do that over here. But we're talking real talk. I can only speak from my experiences. But being that I know that I'm the only one with the recipe, okay, I know what I've produced off of AR-15, okay, Nina 9mm. I know what I've produced off of them. I've seen the genetic characteristics. I know that if I'm doing a foundation breeding where I'm keeping the majority of the dogs, whoever gets my dogs that are my foundation dogs, then, if they're wise and they're actually breeders, then they're going to come up off of all the money that I spent getting it to these levels of F5s and shit like that. They're going to benefit from that. So, of course, I got to put a premium if I'm giving foundation pieces to people who might breed. So I asked 35 for those. And I got one going to Peru for 35 for a band dog, you guys. Okay. Because they've been following me and they understand what I'm doing. They understand what I'm cooking. They understand what they can do with it. They understand, they understand the math. Like I understood when I broke bread off of paying for those studs, paying for those straws. When I broke my bread out and said, give me that. How much you want for those? Oh, you don't want to let it go? How much you want? I'll buy 3 of them. I'll buy 3 straws each. Give me that. Oh, well, money talk, right? You didn't want to give it up, but you gave it up when I said I want to buy 3 of them for the price you want to sell them for. He gave them up then, didn't he? See what I'm saying? So when I say, you know what? I need 35 for those Roman prima donnas. My consumer, my customer had no issue with it because he knew what he was going to do with it. He's like, Coach, I just need the DNA. Makes sense because that's how I felt. I just need the DNA, man. I can do a lot with that, man. I can do a lot with those genetics. Okay, so that puts him ahead of the curve, just like how I thought about myself being ahead of the curve, not knowing about Bandogs, but I knew I wanted the foundation. I knew I wanted the foundation to put me ahead when I was in my experimental stages. When I'm in my experimental stages, I want to be ahead. I don't want to be scrapping shit up. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got the money for that, to be honest, too. I ain't got the money to be scrapping up all that breeding and work, scrap it up. I got to get rid of these 2 dogs. I got to start all over from scratch. Another F1. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, scrapped. I didn't have time for that. And so if you're getting into band dogs to make money, it's going to take you some time to get to that point. It's going to take you some time. Don't come into this band dog thing that we're doing and think that your mad scientist is going to make you some money right away. Don't lie to yourself. If you want to do that, that's your choice. But if you listen to this podcast and you hear me speaking to you from experience and you still decide to think that you can reinvent the wheel, be prepared for a rude awakening. Be prepared for people jerking your pee-pee without no lube and making sure you don't get your nut off. Telling you that they want something, but then they ain't not going to have the money to pay for it. Be prepared for that. You're going to get a lot of it. Be prepared to have those ideas that are so great on paper then you're finally able to cook them up with real dogs and they don't come out the way you expect. Be prepared for that. That's the reality of us doing these dogs. Nothing is guaranteed. Be prepared for that. So if you're not paying attention in this particular classroom that we talking in tonight, and you're not coming in from a perspective of a hobbyist, experimentalist, if you're not coming in with that perspective to keep everything out of the litter, making sure that if you can't keep it all, everything is close that you can go and take from, the whole litter is close where you can get the genetics from, then you're not going to make it in Bandogs. Because this is how breeds are made. How we are cooking up dogs is how every breed known to mankind is made. Taking different breeds, mixing them, taking the best out of those, breeding those again, taking the best out of those, breeding those again. That's how breeds are made. That's what we're doing. That is what we are doing. So, okay, should you breed Bandogs to make money or as a hobbyist? You know the answer to it now. Okay. Don't you dare come into Bandogs trying to make money. Don't do it. Don't do it. Hobby first. Perfect your craft. Enjoy the fact that you could be a math scientist and perfect your vision. Then, if you are good at what you do, as an artist like myself, as an engineer, a dog engineer like myself, and you're good at it, then you might, God willing, be able to make some money. God willing. Because guess what? You'll have something that nobody else has. It'll be your own. You'll be able to control the narrative when it comes to the price. But it better be good. It better have that curb appeal. It better have that sex appeal. It better perform. Okay? Now, we are not in control of that dog's performance. Once it leaves the factory, it's up to the owner to nurture the performance. However, we're supposed to make sure that it's all in that dog. Everything genetically should be in that dog when it goes to its next owner. Okay? Because we talked about that on previous episodes. I talked about that last episode where I sold a dog to one of my clients. And unfortunately, that dog didn't perform for my client. I'm not responsible for that. I'm not going to put it on the genetics. That's either the dog itself or the owner. Has nothing to do with me. The dog got drawn up every genetic characteristic in the lab, putting all those genetics with the parents, grandparents, great grandparents, both sides in the lab, all of it cook up. But voila, dogs are born. I did my job in the lab as an engineer. Okay. Whatever spirits in that dog is not up to me. It's up to God. That's up to God. Ain't up to me. I put the genetics together mathematically. God put the spirit in the dog. I'm not responsible for you as an owner of your dog to know how to understand your dog's psyche, know how to bring the best out of your animal. I'm not responsible for you knowing how to do that. However, I'm responsible for creating that platform, which is that dog itself. Genetically, I am responsible for that. And that's what we as Bandog breeders should be excited about. We are able to do that and don't have to lie about it. Like all these other people who's in these different breeds, they be lying about what they cooking. Some of it on purpose, Some of it just just a lie, just because they don't want to tell you the truth. But what I mean by on purpose is that they don't want you to know their formula because they don't want you to copy. Okay. Not the ones that just sneaking shit in there just to make it seem like they doing it right, but they really just sneaking different stuff in there just to make you feel like, you know what, you left, but you far behind and they far ahead. No, they just mixing shit that you don't know about. But at least with us with these band dogs, we can do that because our goal is to produce performance dogs, ultimate performance dogs. So we're trying to take this performance breed, mix it with that performance breed, cook up even better. Between the two, we're cooking up even better for performance. And if you want to sell your dogs for a premium, they got to have the look too. They just can't perform and look like shit. Okay? Don't get it twisted. Just because you take two good performance dogs and mix them together don't mean they're going to look good now. They can still do the job, and that's really the ultimate play, what we're doing with band dogs. It's about what it can do, right? The ability to work. So even if your dog looks, but it's a dope working dog, you still get salutes in my, in my world because you created a dog to do its job as a band dog, and it does it at a high level. So I'm going to salute you either way. Okay. Whether you produce a dog that, but looks good, but, doesn't look too good, but performs at a high level, I'm going to salute you. Okay. However, if you're trying to make money, you got to have a dog that look good too. It's got to have that sex appeal, man. That mix got to be like, yo, like it's got to have that. Like, yo, what is that? Oh man, I got 5 dogs in that dog. What is a 5? Yeah, that's about 5 different breeds in that dog. Wow. Never seen that dog is amazing. Dog looks amazing. Okay. That's what's going to get you the bread. Oh man, I want a dog from that one. That's the performance ain't going to get you the bread, unfortunately. Unfortunately, right? It should be the other way around, the performance. But just like when you go buy a car, prime example, just like when you go buy a car, right? There's all kind of performance cars. The ones that look the most sexy is the ones that's going to get the people to buy it and spend the money. Why you think people buy them Ferraris and Lambos and spend 250, 350, 500,000 for? Because they look sexy. They look sexy, y'all. They're going to spend $500,000 for a sexy damn car that performs. They're going to spend it. Same thing with our dogs. We're making these high performance band dogs. They better look good. Or just be a hobbyist, which I suggest all of us band dog, men and women, be a hobbyist. Enjoy the fact that you're able to create. Enjoy the process. Be patient with the process. It's going to take you some years to get to a Lee Robinson level. Okay? If you're wise like me, the dog god, you'll buy into somebody who already got the foundation made for you and just build off of that. That's what a wise man would do. Okay? That's what a wise man would do. That's what my client did when he paid $3,500 for my foundation band dog recipe off of Prima Donna and Roman, because he knew that that's what Coach was cooking it up for himself. It seems like Coach know what he doing. The dog god know what he doing. So you know what? I want to get into band dogs, man. I might as well, piggyback off the Coach. Then I could add my cane corso, whatever else you want to add into it, my Doge Bordeaux, my Borbo, whatever you want to cook up. Now you just add to what I already cooked up. You that further ahead. Now you F6, F7. See how that works, y'all? So I hope y'all paying attention. Like I said, I don't have to do this. But again, this is what I wish that I had coming up in the game. Somebody who would give me some insight off of real plays, real in the field plays, not something they did 20 years ago. something they doing now. That's what I wish I was able to have. But you know what? It's all good. You know what I mean? Some people are pioneers, some people aren't. I've always been a player coach my whole life. I've been in the field learning. I've been in the field learning, teaching myself in the field. And it ain't changing with these dogs either. So, you know, this subject matter is very important because I know a lot of people, they're intrigued by Bandogs and they might think they can make some money. They might think they can make some money, but think again. Think again. Think again, man. Don't come into Bandogs trying to make money. Don't be a math scientist. Come in this because you want to create. You know what I'm saying? Come in this because you want to be an artist. That you want to make the ultimate performance dog. Come in it like that. You know what I'm saying? Where you got some great ideas with different breeds you want to cook up and mix. Come in it like that. Take your time. Take your time. You know what I'm saying? Keep your dogs, man. Watch them develop in front of your eyes. Take your notes. Take the best ones out of there. Cook them up. Mix them up. Take brother and sister if you got two of them and breed them together. See what you cook out of that. Take the dad to the mom. Excuse me. Take the dad to the daughter. Take the mom to the son. You know what I mean? Start experimenting. Start experimenting. Create some good shit. Okay. And then once you got something to display, you've been promoting that dog. That dog has a lot of people oohing and awing about it. Okay. Then set your price when you got a dog that's over there garnering a whole bunch of attention. They're asking you, what kind of dog is that? Oh, that's one of my Bandogs. It's this, that, and the third. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. That dog is dope. Thank you. That's when you start figuring out how much you can charge if you ever decide to breed that particular dog. Because now what you created is garnishing attention. It's getting attention. Then you might be able to say, I can make a couple dollars now. Because the dog that I've made for myself, people want it. People actually want the dog that I made for myself. Give me a stack for that. Give me 1,000. Sold. Oh, shit, I made, I had 6 pup made 6,000. You know what I mean? Pat yourself on the back. Pat yourself on the back. Okay. So that's how you got to see this Bandog thing, you guys. Hobby. Hobby. Don't come in this trying to make no money. And I'm not knocking y'all for thinking y'all can, but I got to give y'all a realistic perspective on doing these dogs. It's not going to come easy, man. No, it's not. It's a lot of hard work. Yes, it is. You don't know what you're getting, so you can't guarantee nothing to none of your clients. No, you can't. Okay. When those clients get those dogs from you, it's an experiment for them too, just like it is for you. So don't get into Bandogs to make money. This is not Frenchies. And even the Frenchie market has went down. It's gone down. Everything's gone down. But this is not Frenchies. This is not exotic bullies. These are not bullies. Okay. And even if you are in those arenas of dogs, right, it's a small network that buy from each other that are able to make those crazy type of prices and get those crazy type of prices for their puppies and stuff. It's a small network of individuals. It's not the whole market. Just to let y'all know. Just in case you're like, oh man, I'm gonna sell me some Frenchies. No, you're not. If you're not in that arena of those people that are paying that, you're not going to get a consumer to pay them type of money. You're not. Okay. So in every breed that you get into, hobby first, produce for you first, do promotional pricing like how I did when I was producing for myself. Like all the people that have gotten puppies from me for the past 3 years have gotten my promotional pricing. They haven't got what my dogs were worth, because I was breeding for me. And then the rest of it, then, I got, might as well. I'm not keeping everything. I got my pieces, everything else I sell. Okay, promotional pricing, because I'm, I can't ask you what they truly are worth, because you can't afford it if I ask you what they truly are worth. But you know what? Hey, take advantage of me breeding for me first, okay? Because I got what I needed. Here, whatever I get is extra credit, okay? Here you go. Good deal for you. Thank you, coach. No, thank you, because I got what I needed. So that's what I breed for, me first. And that's how you guys should be breeding for you, okay? Don't get into this shit for no damn money. Don't do it to yourself. Okay, so anyway, let me tap into the chat, man. Let me see what we got here, man. Okay, so I'm gonna put this up on the screen here, y'all. So PNEXTTF official, he asked me, quick question, how long you been breeding Bandogs? So 3 years, going on 4 years. Going on 4 years, 2024. This is my 4th year actually breeding a Bandog, an actual Bandog. 3 years ago, I bred my first Bandog, which is the ones I was telling y'all that I kept. Okay, AR-15, Prima Donna, Nina 9mm, Silver Bullet. Okay, so that's how long I've been breeding. So hopefully that answers your question. See what we got here, man. Okay, so we got, if I slaughter your name, man, don't knock me for it, family. So we got, what's that? Naquim down. I think that's what it is, maybe. Okay. He says, I think that's happening right now with my boys. One of them be doing too much. The other ones be fighting them. Okay. Yeah. That's called pack dynamics. I'm going to do an episode on pack dynamics. So to kind of break that down, because I've been playing with packs for a while. Not those packs, dog packs. Okay. But I've been, dealing with pack dynamics for a while, and like, that's real though. That's real. It happens. And I've learned through my experience, through my experiments, that it's really, honestly, when you have prey driven dogs now, okay, other dogs that don't have prey drive, you can get away with more to a pack. But if you have prey driven dogs with high prey drive, the reality of it is only 2 to a pack, because if you have 3 or more, it's never a fair fight. Why that is the way it is, I don't know. Okay. That's just a dog psyche that I haven't figured out. Like, why is it a jumping session when you have more than 2 prey dogs in a pack? Why is it a jumping 3, 5, 4, 6 against 1? Why is it that way? I don't know. So, yeah, you know what I mean? We'll have to dig deeper into the pack dynamics one time. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, my man. Okay, so Naquim Down mentioned, he says, how long have you been breeding Bandogs, and do you get enough from the dogs to afford 30? The second half, I already answered the first half for you guys. The second half is no. Hell no. I'm in the red, okay? Been in the red since 2005. Okay, so let's just let you know that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't made over $100,000 in puppy sales and stud sales, and I've spent over $100,000 in dogs and in taking care of dogs, dog food, etc. So nah, I'm in the red still, man. I'm in the red still. You know what I mean? I've sold hundreds of puppies though. You know, I could pat myself on the back for that. I got dogs all over the world and all over the United States. I could pat myself on the back for that. I produced every dog that I've envisioned, and I got DNA to produce any other dog I ever envisioned. I can pat myself on the back, but monetarily, nah, I'm in the red, man. I'm in the LL. So hopefully that answers your question. You know what I'm saying? So you might want to think twice about being a dog, man. Real talk, because it's gonna cost you more than you ever would make. Let's see what else we got here. I already know what KRGO is talking about, that Kangal breeding, man, with AK. He said that breeding I'm saving up for. I hope you are, family. You know what I'm saying? You got another year. I'm holding it off for another year. You know what I'm saying? So you got till 2025. My Kangal, she turns 2 this year. So she's still young. I'm not rushing it. I want to give everybody enough chance to make sure they save their money. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm doing that for me, but I got a lot of people who've been asking me about it and want a piece of it. So I'm giving y'all time to save y'all bread. You know what I mean? For the serious ones. And when I do announce it, I'm going to announce it. I'm going to ask for my deposits. You know what I'm saying? And if I don't get enough deposits to qualify for me to do it, I'll wait another year. I'll wait till she's 3 because I like to breed my bitches at 3 years old, to be honest. My Kangal is going to turn 2 this year. So I still can wait a whole 2 years before I breed her. Okay. So depending on all the people that's asking, like yourself, KRGO, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people been wanting that. A lot of people. And I know I got like at least 3 of them that I know that got bread. You know what I'm saying? I got 3 of them that's been like, yo, coach, I'm waiting on that. I know they got bread. You know what I'm saying? They bought dogs from me before. So those 3 that want it, I know y'all serious. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all broke bread with me already. So I'm not talking about y'all, but all the other ones out there, I'm gonna give y'all opportunity in 2025. You know what I'm saying? So, be on the lookout. Plus, I want to showcase, AK gonna be 4. He just looking better and better, man. So I'm just gonna keep showcasing him. Snow, you know what I mean? She gonna be 2. She getting bigger and bigger and looking better and better. So I just, I'm gonna keep building the hype. So when I do cook it up, I get what I deserve genetically for cooking something like that up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I'm excited about that. You know what I mean? Real talk. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Okay, live your life, dogs, man. Salute you, live your life, dogs, man. Thank you for coming out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, KRGO, man. Thank you for coming out too, man. Appreciate you guys. He says those dogs are worth it. A lot of dogs are sold for less than they are worth. Hunting and guard dogs are worth way more than what they are sold for. Facts. Facts. But like, how can we, as performance dog breeders, right, show that without being flagged, right? Because you show a dog hunting, fur mommies and fur daddies and stuff, they don't like that. You'll get flagged and things of that nature. So you can't really show your dog working in that capacity. However, you're right. If you're selling performance dogs, they should be worth more, just like if you're buying a sports car. You're not buying a sports car because just by what it looks like, yeah, that plays, but you're really buying it for performance. You're paying the premium price because of what it can do. So you're right. However, with dogs, you can't really show that without getting flack, without getting, having problems. You know what I mean? Like, look, my dog is hunting pigs and stuff, you know what I mean? Or look, my dog's can hunt a coyote or whatever. And then you see your dog, putting work in on a pig and a coyote, and then you got people reporting your post or whatever, or your content. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really show it, but you're right. I agree with you 1,000% on that one. But people rather buy a dog that looks big and heavy, pay $10,000 for a 200-pound dog that can't do shit versus a dog that can save your family and your life and is healthy and strong. It's backwards in the dog game. Let's see what else we got. Okay, I'm gonna hit my man again. He had a good one here. He said, "But a cute dog that can't do anything is worth crazy money, And I love all dogs, but facts are facts. So just like how I was elaborating on that. Yeah. Something visually goes back into what I was saying with your band dog. It has to have that sex appeal. Something visually appealing to the eye is going to get you more money because that's what people can relate to, what they see. They can't see performance in a sense. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what you're looking for to know performance. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you on that one too. Let's see what else we got, man. Hey, Soul Power, aka Gamed Up Kennels, man. Salute to your family. Thank you for showing up, man. I appreciate you, brother. You know what I'm saying? For showing up. You know, it's all love. Just trying to stay consistent, family. And then, okay, now Quim down. Like I said, if I'm messing your name up, man, please don't hold me accountable to that, man. You know what I mean. That's why I'm putting you up on the screen, man. But he said, yes, sir. Respect for the work you put in, man. Hey, thank you. Thank you. You know, I definitely appreciate the respect. Um, you know, the road I'm on is the road less traveled. I don't mind being on it. I'm used to the energy being by myself. You know, being able to, you know, be in a lane where you're, you know, producing your own. You know what I'm saying? Like doing you as a dog man is most people don't want to deal with the flack that you get from people and the hate that you get because you're doing your own thing. You know, like for example, and I know Soul Power can relate to this. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a part of you know, he has game dogs and pit bulls and stuff like that, performance bulldogs and stuff like that. But like for example, you know, me doing my own thing with my pit bull line, I get so much hate from the pit bull community, which to me, I don't give a, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing because you don't like it, but you know, some people might not be strong mentally like I am. You know, they might not have that pioneer mentality where you're going to be probably by yourself most of the time in your journey. It's going to be just you. But if you love the craft, you know, of creating like I do, especially dogs, then you know it is what it is. You can accept it. You know what I mean? They're going to be naysayers and haters. And I knew that coming in the game when I went on my DNA shopping spree when I was 8 years old, man. And I told myself, I want to create my own dogs at 8 years old. I want to create my own dogs. I didn't say, hey, I want that breed of dog. I didn't know that at 8. I just said, I want to create a dog at 8 years old. Now I'm a grown man. I'm 45, by the way. And I'm doing what I wanted to do when I was 8 years old. Create my own dogs. Create my own family of dogs. Don't have to lie to kick it to do it either. That's what I do. You know what I mean? So, man, I appreciate the fact that you respect my work, man. You know what I mean? It's something that, like I said, I wanted to do since I was 8. And now I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm doing it. And, you know, just y'all pay attention to me for the next couple of years, man. The next couple of years, I got all the dog, everything I've envisioned, I cooked it up. I cooked it up. I got a lot of young prospects, different prospects coming up in the ranks, you know, and I'm excited to see them develop and I'm excited to showcase them. I'm excited to do content with them. I'm excited about it because this is what I've envisioned my whole young to adult life with dogs, to be able to have these creations that I had in my mind and to have them in real life in the third dimension right now in our reality in flesh and to be able to showcase them, to show you what my dogs can do. Okay. Now, I cannot and I will not show you the prey drive in these dogs, even though I've created them to have maximum prey drive. However, if my consumers buy my dogs for hunting purposes, not dog fighting purposes, I do not condone that. Not even on my own yard. My dogs get disciplined when they fight without reconciliation. So I don't condone that. However, if your dog is doing a job protecting your home front, Like I live in the woods and I have wild animals that will not dare come on my property. But at the same time, if they do, they will get checked and, dealt with. Okay. If my dogs do that job for you guys, I did my job creating that because I put that in my dogs. Okay. However, I'm going to be able to show you guys why my dogs are performance dogs. I'm going to direct that drive into a level of work performance to show you the abilities of these dogs. If you decided to get one, if I was able to sell one to you, if I decided to sell puppies to you, because now I have everything, so I don't have to sell puppies. Okay. Because all I have to do now is showcase my puppies. I can showcase my dogs. That's what I want to do. That's what I do. I have dogs. I created them. Now I'm showcasing them. I don't have to sell a dog. Now, if you wanted to buy a dog and I decided to sell a dog to you, then if you wanted that dog to work in a capacity, you can take that dog's mind and shape it to do what you want it to do as far as work. Or you can just have it just genetically want to protect you and your family, because that's pretty much what my band dogs are bred to do. Protect the property and the family genetically. Not with agitation work, none of that shit. None of that. Just naturally know if something is on the property that shouldn't be, I'm going to check it. If something is messing with the family, I'm going to check it. That's all I need my dogs to do. Okay. And I like my dogs to work at a high level. That's what I like. I like drive, right? I like stamina. I like athletic abilities. And I'm gonna close out with this, right? So check this out. I got a couple of dogs that have tremendous hops. I might have mentioned this, but I'm mentioning it again. And they're young dogs. They're like a year and a couple of months old. And they've, over time as dogs grow, they start to learn their abilities. And I have dogs that are very intelligent and very athletic, and they know how to jump, vertically jump. And I've seen these puppies at 6 months start to demonstrate their jumping abilities. Okay. I'm watching it. I know where it comes from, but I'm watching them do it. And so I have nice kennel setups for my dogs and 10 by 10s. I got the tarps to protect them from the rain and the sun, all the good shit. So I'm looking at my young dogs jump, and I'm already knowing that, they can possibly, figure out that they can jump higher than what they're capable of jumping at 6 months. But fast forward, at a year and a couple of months, now their jumping ability is crazy. It's so crazy that, they can jump and vertically jump from a stand, from a sit down position, jump up, you know, head over 5 foot. So let's say 6 foot, their head's over 6 foot, just jumping up. So, you know, I'm coming out and I do my routine every day, y'all. And I'm seeing my dogs jump up in there and they're hitting their head on top of the tarp because, it's a 5 by 10, 5 foot high. Or excuse me, it's actually 10 by 10, but it's only 5 foot high. So now they're jumping up and they're hitting their head on the tarp. So I'm like praying, like, please don't try to bite the tarp down because, I don't want to have to put a roof on y'all on top of the roof. So my dogs being who they are, frames, brains, and motors, and very calculative, they tend to figure out that there's some slack in the roof tarp that they have that they're jumping into. And then, shit, over time, they figured out that, with that slack, they can actually bite. And then with that bite, that tarp isn't tough. And with the tarp not being tough, they can actually just rip it down. And then when they rip it down, they can actually just jump out the kennel. So two of my dogs learned that over time with their jumping ability, that they can bite the tarp down and then literally jump out vertically out. And so they've been doing that lately, and it's been pissing me off. And they've been destroying my tarps that I spend money on. And, you know, thank God they only do it again. Thank God they only do it because they know I'm coming. And they just, whatever is the reason why they do it when I'm coming is their own reason, but they don't do it when I'm not there. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got to worry my dogs escaping and set my whole yard off at late at night and stuff like that. So I'm blessed in that right there. However, be careful what you create, because you just might get it. That's my point I'm making to y'all right now. Be careful what you put in these damn dogs athletically, because you just might get it. These dogs are still puppies. They're not even at their maximum potential yet. They're doing this at a year and a couple of months old, vertically jumping out of the kennels. Not climbing out, y'all. Jumping up, grabbing onto the top, and getting out, literally. But they jump up, tear down the roof, and jumping out. So, of course, I'm upset, y'all, because, they costing me money. So, I'm mad, I'm whooping asses, I'm disciplining, you know what I mean? But they keep doing it. So now I had to go ahead and move those two dogs to another area where I got, roofs on top, like I got on some of my other dogs, like AK-47, by the way, which happens to be his kids, by the way. You know what I'm saying? But they doing what he was doing at a year and a half, they doing at a year and a couple months. You know what I mean? So be careful what y'all put in y'all dogs, man. Y'all can't be mad at them damn dogs when, even though I was mad, I had to check myself. Like, bro, you put that in, you put that genetically in them damn dogs. Yeah, you disciplined them, but they looking at you like, what? Because really, that's how my dogs kind of look at me. Like, they're looking at me like, why you whooping me? I'm just doing what I'm capable of doing. In their eyes, they're not doing nothing wrong. See what I'm saying, y'all? Because genetically, they're able to figure out how to get out of situations, how to jump a 6-foot, 7-foot fence if they wanted to. You know what I mean? If they wanted to get out, they can figure out how to do that. Genetically, they can figure out. Their athletic ability can get it, and their mind can calculate it. And I've seen them working that whole calculation from 6 months on to a year and 2 months to where they figured out how to jump. But I've seen them jump, calculating it in their head, figuring out their athletic ability, and to the point where they like, yo, I can actually jump out this thing, and they did it. Oh, this tarp is got slack. Let me put my mouth on it. Oh, this tarp, when I bite it, gives way a little bit. Let me just bite it and hold on to it and shake it. Like, I seen them calculate that shit, man. Which is, lab notes, but costs me money, pisses me off, gets me upset with the dogs. But then I also have to check myself as the person who created them. Like, you put that in that damn dog. You can't be mad at that dog like that, even though I am. I'm just being real with y'all. Like, even though I am, but in reality, I can't be, because I put that in that dog to figure out how to get out of situations or jump out of whatever it's in. You know what I mean? Like, break out of whatever it needs to break out. Flip latches up and get out. Dig under kennels because you ain't got, nice foundation. Like, I put that in them damn dogs to be smart enough to figure out ways to do what they got to do. So just be careful, y'all. You understand? Because, you'll be experiencing things like I experience, with my dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you experience stuff and you just like, Oh man, like what the hell are y'all doing? Like my boy Shaka. Okay, well, salute to you, William. Salute to you, man. Like I said, you missed a little bit, man, but you already know you can hit that rewind button. You know what I mean? We had a good cook up. But like with my boy Shaka, right? My pit bull I produced, my boy Shaka. Okay. This my blood is boiling just thinking about this asshole. This boy is so like driven, feels no pain. The boy has zero teeth. Not because he broke them, because he bites shit and he grind, he bites everything. And he grinds his teeth down because he bites and whatever. Like whatever he want to break, he gonna break it. And he'll bite it until he like a file. Like he'll bite steel bars until he breaks it. Like he's just that nutso. But this fool, right? And I gotta call him a fool because he knows what he's doing, but to me, it's very foolish why you do it. This fool will run back and forth against his 5x10 steel kennel and bounce off of it, right? To show his dominance. And I've actually showed that, I did a little thing on my IG showing him doing something similar to this, right? Where he goes and he runs back and forth, but he's bouncing off of it. Like he runs up to the one side, bounces off the side, pushes off it, pushes off it, pushes off it. But he's hitting his like side of his leg, his front legs on the steel bars. And by him doing this, he's splitting open his leg, like from hitting it up against a steel bar 20 times. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? So the other day, right? And so I've dealt with this, right? He busted both his legs, like busted it open to the bone. The first time he did it, I went took him to the vet because I'm like, yo, this is awful. Like big ass hole, bone showing. So I took him to the vet, spend money, get it stitched up, right? He bust that open again, right? So then like I'm telling the vet, like I don't know what to do with this motherfucker, right? He keeps doing it, right? So she's like, well, the stitches ain't gonna work because the hole's already big. So she's like, well, just keep the saline solution on it, right? And keep him with the antibiotics and just leave it open, and eventually it'll close. So he had a big ass hole in his arm, right, the right arm, because he kept busting it open. Even when I stitched it up, he busted open again. So vet was like, well, he gonna keep doing it, just keep it clean and give him the antibiotics. So I did that. So I'm like, fuck it, what I mean? I'm not, in my mind, I'm like, fuck it, man. He just gonna keep doing it anyway because he's just a nut like that. But he only does it when I come around. Understand when I keep the commonality of the energy. When the alpha come is competition, because I got so many dogs and that's what they do. And I got an asshole who does that. His name is Shaka. So then he did it to his other arm last year. He did it to the opposite one. So now I'm already knowing what it was and what he did and how he did it. I'm not taking him to the vet to get stitches because he's going to bust it out. I know how to keep the other wound clean. So I know how to keep the new wound clean that he busted open. So he did the same thing to the left arm. This is last year. So now I know his game. I know, like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about stitches. I know I just keep it clean, give him antibiotics. It is what it is. That's, if you lose your leg and die, I don't care. Like, I'm at that point with this knucklehead because he just a knucklehead. So check this out, y'all. 3 days ago, I go down there, right? I'll do my routine, right? Going down there every kennel, everybody get their kennel cleaned up, get their attention, get fed, all the stuff. So I see Shaka, he didn't come out, right? He normally out. As soon as I'm out, he normally out starting this shit, right? He's not out. I'm like, well, where this boy Shaka at? And then I come, when I come up close to him, he comes out. He's limping now. He's limping, y'all. The boy limping and shit, right? I'm like, you limping now? Why are you limping? Right. So his leg is swole up. The right one is swole up now. It's all super swollen, right? I'm like, oh, you swole up now, huh? Now you limping now. So now it's like I don't even feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for him because he do that stuff to himself. He do it to himself. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't gonna cry about it. That's one thing he definitely ain't gonna do. I checked to make sure it wasn't infected. It wasn't infected, but it was just swollen because he kept busting it on the kennel thing again. You know what I'm saying? But see, this is the stuff that me as a man or a dog man who creates these dogs, I'm taking notes. That's the pain tolerance that's in Shaka and his sister, and that was in his mama, that I'm seeing still to this day. He do damage on himself. Even though he limping and stuff like that, I can still touch it. I know it's hurting him because it's swole. I can touch it. He ain't pulling away nothing. He's, still the same. It don't phase him. But this time he was over there limping around. I'm like, oh, you getting old. You know what I'm saying? Because normally you wouldn't even be limping around with that. But now you limping around. Now you was in your little dog house. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't over there wilding out. Now you kind of limping. But guess what? 2 days later, he's back to doing his crazy ass shit again. You know what I mean? So just wanted to give y'all that little story, man. But this is the stuff that I dealing with these type of dogs, man, on a day-to-day basis. Having these performance dogs, different personalities, different drives, different pain tolerance, you know what I'm saying? Just seeing all these different dynamics, you know what I'm saying, on a daily basis, man. It's some great data. You know what I'm saying? Is it a pain in the ass? Oh, yeah. Does it stress me out? Oh, yeah. Does it cost me money? Oh, yeah. But, this is what I signed up for. You know what I mean? Like, this is why I'm the Formula One of this shit, y'all. Because I really have the genetics. I really have the data with multiple dogs. Not just one or two dogs. Multiple dogs. Multiple dogs. Lots of them. Different, performance abilities. Male and female. Puppies to full-grown adults. Old dog. I mean, like I got data for days for y'all. So when we have these discussions, it's coming from field play. Yeah, soul power. Hey, also a destructive gene for sure. For sure. But see, that's okay. A dog like Shaka, he is so driven that it don't matter if he hurts himself, he's going to get his point across regardless. Okay? Kind of like I'm not going to say kind of like it's like a game dog. I would consider him very, very game. Meaning that if he's determined to do a job, there's nothing that you're going to do to stop that dog. Okay? Right? There's nothing even in his mind as far as self-preservation goes. Like, bro, you're busting yourself up. You just busted a hole in your wrist and you're bleeding everywhere. You should be curled up somewhere, but instead you're still doing it nonstop. You don't care that you're bleeding out. You just determine whatever is in your mind that keeps you driven. You're going to keep going, regardless of what your body is telling you. That is Shaka in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying? So for me as a dog man who wants a dog to be able to dish the energy of pain out and take it, I salute that. Okay. I salute that genetically. However, it costs me money too, right? Because I'm not using him in that capacity where if I had him on a hog, a real life hog now, okay, not a dog, but a hog, and he's having a fight to contain this hog until I come to, go ahead and finish the hog off. Okay. If the hog hits it with a tusk here and a tusk there, and, a dog like Shaka is going to take that and actually like that. That's what a dog like Shaka is built for. He's gonna take it and like it. Like it's not gonna stop him. It's gonna make him even more, like turned on about it because he don't feel it. I don't know how these dogs shut it off, but that is a destructive gene, like you said, Soul Power. I feel it's a very self-destructive gene because there's no self-preservation there in that dog's mind. There's no, hey, let me chill. Hey, let me stop. There's none of that in the dog's mind like that when it's doing things to hurt itself in a sense. But in his mind, like I said, in that dog's mind, he's not hurting himself. That's, if you can understand what I'm saying, Soul Power, like in his mind, he's not hurting himself. He's demonstrating something and showing the other dogs that, I'm going to run back and forth. I'm going to bang this kennel out. I'm going to make this noise, and I'm going to let y'all know I'm really with the shit. And I'm going to do it 20 times, 30 times. I'm going to have blood all over the place, and I'm not going to stop. Like, that's in his crazy ass head, in his asshole mind. Okay? That's my boy Shaka, by the way. Which happens to be a blue dog for those pit bull enthusiasts that want to claim that if a dog's color determines its bulldogishness. Okay, that dog could be white, purple, green. I don't care what color it is. It's the dog. It's the spirit and the ability in the dog. I don't care what color it is or what it looked like. If the dog has the spirit of a warrior, can take it and give it, that's a bulldog to me. I don't care what you look like or what color you are. Okay. And I know for a fact that my 7-year-old dog named Shaka, that's an asshole, very intelligent asshole, by the way, but an asshole, is really with the shits, man. Been that way ever since he was a puppy and ain't never changed at 7 years old, still acting stupid and crazy and rah, rah, rah with the shit. Still. Okay. But, okay, us as dog man, guess what? We taking notes, baby. I'm taking notes. Yeah, that boy nuts, so he still be a consistent nut. Okay. Still want to smoke. Always want to smoke. Nigga, he ain't got no teeth, but he's still crushing shit. You know what I mean? Got to keep him contained all the time because he always wanted to start shit. That's who he is. That's who he is. The notes don't lie. Okay? So when I cook him up, I know what I'm going to get. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm going to get with his genes. I already know. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to his mother. I know where he get that from. Shout out to his grandmother. I know who he gets that from. His mother and grandmother were the same exact way. His sister, Holy Spirit, she don't do that stupid shit that he do. Praise the Lord. Thank God. She don't fuck herself up like he do. But she with all the shit, she take every bit of the lick. But she don't do that dumb, trying to show you, machismo. I'm showing you that I'm really about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like watching a movie and you see a dude, take a knife and he cuts himself. You're like, oh, why'd you do that? He's just showing you that he can take it. Here, let me get his knife. Let me cut my face. Like, why you cut your face? Just showing how much of a beast he is. That's how Shaka think. You know what I'm saying? That's how he think in his mind. But anyway, just wanted to give y'all that testimony or whatever. This is the stuff that I deal with these damn dogs, man. I deal with everything, man. Stuff that's unbelievable. You be like, why? I'll be saying the same thing, like, why? I got to check myself on a daily basis that I don't come out angry because I'd be like, why are you guys doing this? Why? And then I go back to my lab notes. It's like, that's why. Because you made that dog like that. Duh. Yeah, I know you don't like to deal with it, but it's what you drew up in your lab, bruh. You don't got no pussyfooters over here, man. You got warriors and stuff over here. You know what I'm saying? What you expect? You got athletes over here. Well, I mean, come on. Of course, they're going to be able to tear up and jump up and do all this and do all that. You know, you got thinkers over here. Of course, they're going to be able to figure out how to get out, do this and do that and do this. You know, you got man biters. Of course, you might get bit every now and then. I don't want to get bit. Who does, right? But sometimes it might happen because you got man biters. If that's what you're cooking up, right? With these Bandogs, they can bite us, right? They can bite man. You put it into genetics, so they might bite you. Okay. So you know how I operate, y'all. I'm only giving y'all what I experience. You know what I mean? And I hope y'all can respect that. I hope y'all can learn from that. And just, you know, at least you're getting the real from the coach, man. At least you're getting the real from the dog god. I'm not here to just tell y'all what y'all want to hear. I'm not here to entertain anybody. I'm just here to give y'all some real in the field player coach shit. And man, oh man, be careful what you create because you just might get it. Real life. Be careful what you put in your dogs. You just might get it. And a lot of us, okay, and I had to say us because I used to be one of those, don't know what you're putting in your dogs. Like all of it. You might know some of it, but you don't know all of it. Okay. Only time will tell you that. Only what I'm telling y'all today in the field experience will tell you what everything that you have in your dog. Only time tells you that, man. You're like, damn, I didn't know that. Okay. When you find out, put it in your notes. Okay. Before I close out. If y'all ain't keeping no ledgers and no notes and stuff about your dogs, start doing that. On every dog you own, man, when you see some things about the dog, you know, take notes on the dog so that you can, you know, have an analysis on everything that you have on your yard. You know what I mean? You know, it's just like when you're doing performance cars and things of that nature. You know what I mean? You're doing tests, you're taking notes. Same thing with our performance dogs. You should do the same thing. Okay. Because I do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I do it. Hey, Soul Power. Hey, Soul Power. Let me know, man. Let me know. It's all love, buddy. I'll be more than happy to come on your channel and do an interview, family. It's all love, man. You already know that. But you know, in a nutshell, man, we're gonna close out. You know, it's been a good cook up. I hope that you guys learn something based off of my experience um, as a dog breeder and also breeding band dogs, also as somebody who takes this dog thing as a hobby first. Um, Letting y'all know that making money in band dogs is not realistic. Making money in dogs in general is not realistic. It's not. You can make money selling puppies, but if you put in the time and the effort and the money that I've put in over the years, buying top tier genetics, paying for dog food, vet bills, whatever have you, kennel setups, all that stuff, I'm still in the red. I'm still in the red. I haven't cleared over 6 figures in profit yet. Okay. It's still a very expensive hobby. Okay. Yeah. Hey, hit me on IG, family. If you got my, I'm sure you got my IG, Soul Power. It's the dog god, aka the coach. Yeah, hit me on IG, fam. We can set that up. It's easy. That's easy, man. Um, but yeah, so like I said, hopefully you guys learned something this evening. Like I said, I'm gonna stay consistent. You feel me? I'm gonna stay consistent with you guys on Thursdays. You at least get this on Thursdays, and you know, I mean, we can, you know, I mean, you know, like I said, I can give you some field report about these dogs. I want to see the band dog thing succeed. Um, I want to see us, you know, be able to make some money eventually. However, don't come into this thinking that you will. Don't do it. Don't even do it. Just take pride in the process of doing these dogs, man. Make the best balance, performance, ultimate protection type working dogs. Do that. Do that. Okay. And then, if God willing, man, you create something on that level, then you deserve to make the money that you asking for your band dogs. Okay. Okay. Other than that, take my advice. Okay. Take my advice. Do your dogs for you. Do it for you. Okay. Keep your dogs if you can. Keep them so you can observe them. Okay. Watch them develop. Promote them if you got some dope dogs. Promote them dogs. Okay. And then guess what? You might be able to make some money off the offspring if you got something that's on that level. Other than that, enjoy the hobby. Okay. All right, you guys, man. Big salutes to you, man. Let me give my shout outs to all you guys again before I close out. Even though you guys might be gone, but Bando for life. We already know, man. Much love and respect to you. PNE XTTF official. Big salute to you, man. Much love and respect to you too. Tyree Hobson the third, man. Salute to you, brother. Much respect to you. Jerry Hurley. Big salute to you and much respect to you, man. Young, ready, 109 QGTM. Big salute to you and much respect to you. Why Wait Kennels, man? Why Wait Kennels, man? I appreciate you. You already know that, man. You've been showing up and showing out for your boy, man. So salute to you. Big family. What's that? Now, Quim down. If I mispronounce your name, man, don't fault me for that, family. But man, I appreciate you showing up for tonight's episode of Bandog Talk, man. Hopefully that you'll show up some more, show up again. What we got? KRGO, man. Big salute to you, family. Thank you for showing up. Live your life, dogs, man. Big salute to you. Thank you for showing up. Soul Power, man, aka Gamed Up Kennels. You already know I got love for you, family. And like I said, hit me up on the IG, man. It would be an honor to be on your show, man, on your platform. Real talk. I'll be honored to be a part of that, man. So hit me up. It's all love. William Marietta. Big salute to you, William, man. Much love and respect. And like I said, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Real talk. Y'all ain't got to show up, but you guys do. And, even if there's nobody on, I'm going to make sure I do this. And then, you guys can always hit the rewind button, man. And, get some of this game, get some of this in the field. I call it in the field cologne, man. Get some of this in the field cologne, man. You know what I'm saying? This live from the field knowledge. You know what I mean? I know you guys can learn a lot from it. So anyway, big loves, big salutes. Y'all be safe out there until next time, man. We'll get back to it. See y'all next Thursday. I'm out.